Chapter 2453. Luze looked at Huamin with a smile. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. But young Master Lu, you don't lack money. A classmate asked in confusion. Yeah, someone who drives a limited edition Ferrari and says he's going to work at Southside. What a weird scene, someone else interrupted. Just then, Zhu Lingling came to a realization. Oh, so that fancy purple Ferrari downstairs is yours. Luze smiled and silently admitted it. Working in the medical industry is my hobby. It has nothing to do with money. Everyone has goals and hobbies in life, right? If you only chase after money, it's boring. Someone who's worth over 100 million yuan, we don't really understand. Han Su also laughed. Huamin, can you help me? Luze asked Huamin for the second time. If you want to go, you could just go for an interview. Actually, I can't help much. Although I'm the vice director, I'm only a director in name. Everyone knows that whether it's Southside or the first hospital, President Wu has the final say. So, I'm really ashamed. Obviously, Huamin didn't want to help, so he made himself sound like he was useless. It seems like, Goddess Hua, you don't want to help me. Luze was still smiling. It's not that I'm not busy, it's just that my abilities are limited. Huamin smiled faintly. Then, the topic was over and everyone began to talk about interesting things that happened in school. To be honest, Huamin wasn't interested in these things. In the past, he might have cared about their friendship, but just now, when he heard them talking about Wei Dong, their tone and attitude made Huamin want to vomit. During the banquet, people kept toasting each other. Of course, everyone chose those with status to toast first. Luze had become the star of the class reunion. He was supposed to be the star of the class reunion. Although he wasn't a high-profile person, he couldn't resist the flattery and flattery. Zhu Lingling whispered into Huamin's ear, "Do you see these assholes? Snobs look down on others, sticking to rich people whenever they see one. They can't wait to call him father. How spineless." Huamin held the wine glass and only smiled slightly, not saying much. Lingling was right. Her words were crude, but her logic was not. Young Master Lu, thank you so much for this gathering. Now that you're doing well, you should help us out in the future. A male student said to Luze, his face red from drinking. Yeah, Luze, don't drag us poor people down with you. Oh yeah, are you married yet? A girl gossiped. After this question was asked, all the girls present wanted to prick up their ears to listen. Not yet. I studied abroad for many years. I just came back. Wow. Then aren't you a rich bachelor now? A girl jeered. I'm not a rich bachelor. I'm a bachelor. Luze said self-deprecatingly. Young Master Lu, your father retired a long time ago. Is he still in China? Someone else asked. Oh, my parents retired a long time ago. They're living with my sister in Australia. My sister studied in Australia a long time ago and worked there. Then she got married. My brother-in-law is Chinese too. My parents can help take care of the children there. They haven't been back for a long time. Your family emigrated. Why did you suddenly come back? Zhu Lingling thought it was strange. Because I want to come back to find a girl that I liked and confess to her. Luze looked meaningfully at Huamin, who was playing with his phone beside Han Su. Chapter 2454. As soon as Luze finished speaking, everyone began to cheer. Wow, who is it? Is it one of our classmates? Someone asked. Are you secretly in love with our goddess Hua? Han Su joked. Luze only smiled and didn't answer the question. After everyone toasted Luze, they began toasting Huamin. They knew that she had married into a rich family and was extremely prestigious. However, Huamin didn't seem to be in the mood today. No matter who toasted her, she only took a small sip. Goddess Hua, what are you doing? You're not giving us face? Are you looking down on us poor people? Everyone seemed to be unhappy that Huamin didn't toast. Before Huamin could answer, Zhu Lingling rolled her eyes and defended her. What do you know? Mian is preparing for her second child. Mr. Qin already forbade her from drinking. She's already giving you face by taking a sip. Don't be so greedy. So soon? She's preparing for her second child? Han Su was also surprised. Huamin secretly stepped on Zhu Lingling's foot. Damn it. Are you trying to kill me? Who told you that I'm preparing for my second child? Huamin was so embarrassed that he wanted to find a hole in the ground to hide in. Haha, if I didn't say that, they would have continued to gossip. Zhu Lingling chuckled in a low voice. You already have a baby? Lu Zhe looked at Huamin and asked in all seriousness. My daughter is already 3 years old, Huamin replied. And they're twins, Zhu Lingling added. I see. Then they must be as cute as you. Lu Zhe smiled gently. No, they look like my husband. They're prettier than me. Huamin was full of pride at the mention of the twins. Just like that, time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, 2 hours had passed. When Lu Zhe came back from paying the bill, the wine he ordered had just arrived. Huamin saw that it was a 1991 Lafite Legend. Although it was not very expensive, it was definitely not cheap. We're done eating, and the wine just arrived. Why don't we go somewhere else? I'll treat everyone to a song, Lu Zhe suggested. All right, it's rare for young Master Lu to be in such a good mood. We must accompany you to the end. Those people also joined in the commotion. Huamin glanced at his phone and said calmly, You guys go ahead. I won't be going. I'm going back with Lingling. See you next time. Is that so? Shall I drive you? Lu Zhe passed the red wine in his hand to Han Su. No need. We drove here. After that, Huamin said goodbye to Zhu Lingling and left. Lu Zhe stared at Huamin's back, deep in thought. Huamin is still the same as before. She's so cocky. I can't stand seeing her like this. She's so pretentious. A girl complained unhappily. Don't say that. Huamin is a nice person. Han Su defended her. What's so nice about her? Ever since she became rich, no one has ever asked her to do anything for them. She didn't come to last year's party either. The last time she came, it was because Qin Shu came. If you ask me, this woman is too scheming. I suddenly remembered that I have something to do, so I won't go with you guys. Class president, this is my VIP card. Take it and go to the song. I'll pay for everything. Lu Zhe opened his wallet, took out a gold card, and stuffed it into Han Su's hand. Then, he took the red wine and went downstairs. Young Master Lu, what's wrong? What's this? Everyone was confused. On the way back, Zhu Lingling was scrolling through WeChat in the passenger seat. She asked Huamin, You're not yourself today. What's wrong? Lingling, don't you think there's something wrong with Lu Zhe? Huamin frowned and asked her. Chapter 2455. Huh, really? I didn't notice. Zhu Lingling wasn't paying attention to Lu Zhe, so she was surprised by Huamin's sudden question. If Han Su didn't tell me about Lu Zhe, I would have forgotten about him. He's a transfer student and didn't stay in our class for long. Many people probably don't remember him. If he really is a class reunion, he shouldn't be with us. I have a feeling that he's up to no good. Huamin said worriedly. Are you suspecting Lu Zhe? Zhu Lingling finally understood what Huamin meant. Isn't he worthy of suspicion? That's not it. I just think that he has nothing to do with us. Even if he shows up, he won't do anything to us, right? But you're right. It's better to be safe than sorry. If he really wants to work at Southside and look for you, you have to be careful. Don't make Mr. Qin jealous. Zhu Lingling smiled. I know. After the reunion, Huamin drove Zhu Lingling home before returning to South Hill Manor. Qin Shu and the kids weren't back yet, so she took the opportunity to go to Sky Blessing Court. Jixin went out to eat with his friends, so Yang Meirong was home alone. She was overjoyed to see her daughter. Mian, why are you here alone? Where are Pudding and Little Bean? Dad took them to learn how to ice skate. They're not back yet. Oh, they're so young. What's the point of learning that? It's so tiring. Parents like you don't give your kids any space. Mom, we didn't make them. They wanted to learn, Huamin explained with a smile. Have you eaten yet? I have. Then I'll wash some fruit for you. I bought some strawberries at the market this morning. Then, Yang Meirong got up and went to the kitchen to wash some fruit for Huamin. Huamin was looking at the news on his phone when he suddenly noticed that there was a lot of negative news about the whole corporation. Moreover, Huasiqian had not made any big moves. This was not his style. Could it be that he was plotting something big again? Recalling the strange words Huasiqian had said to him that day, Huamin still had a lingering fear. I wonder what he knows. Mian, I don't mean to criticize you, but you're still so young. Why are you working so hard? Don't neglect your family. I watch TV shows every day, and many loving couples end up dead because they're too busy with work. Huamin picked up a strawberry, put it in his mouth, and took a bite. Then, he leaned on his mother and acted like a spoiled child. Mom, TV dramas are all lies. Real life is not like that. At least, Chin Chu and I are not like that. Don't say that. Chin Chu is still young. It's time for you two to consider having a second child. Mom, this is not an urgent matter. Don't keep rushing us. Jixin told me that Chin Chu's company has a lot of young and beautiful female employees. Those women dress up every day and are looking for a chance to get close to the boss. Girls nowadays are so snobbish. They only care about money. They're not like us back then. So, you have to be careful, okay? Keep an eye out for the women around Chin Chu. Haha, okay, I'll keep an eye out. Huamin wanted to burst out laughing, but seeing how serious his mother was, he didn't have the heart to refute. If you ask me, you should hurry up and have a son to strengthen your position. Mom, his family doesn't have a throne to pass down. Why do you want me to have a son? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Chapter 2456. Look at you. You talk back to me 10 times. I'm doing this for your own good. Yang Meiyerong was the same. Every time they met, she was basically a long-winded chatterbox. Luckily, Huamin knew what his mother was like, so he didn't argue with her. Okay, I got it. Mom, I'll remember what you said. Outside the skating rink, after learning how to skate, Chin Chu walked out with the twins and carried them to the car. Daddy, are we going home? Little Bean asked. Yeah, but I'm so hungry. I'm afraid I can't make it to our house. After all, it's so far away. Little Bean pouted. So what do you mean? Chin Chu looked at his little daughter, amused. Daddy, let me say it for her. She means we should find a restaurant nearby and eat first. Pudding said. Daddy, I heard there's a restaurant nearby that serves really good pork ribs. Sure enough, in Little Bean's eyes, food was more important than the sky. Okay, let's go eat first. Chin Chu couldn't resist his daughter's coquettish request. Daddy, can you call Mommy and ask if she's coming? Mommy loves pork ribs too. Little Bean was sympathetic and didn't forget her mommy. No, your mommy went to a class reunion. She must have eaten already. What? Class reunion? Oh my God. Daddy, what are you thinking? How can you let Mommy go? Little Bean covered her face with her hands in shock. Chin Chu closed the car door, fastened his seatbelt in the driver's seat, and started the car. What's wrong with a class reunion? He didn't forget to talk to his daughter through the rearview mirror. It said that the purpose of a class reunion is not pure. It's either to show off your wealth, or to show off, or to pursue the girl you didn't manage to pursue back then. Mommy was a goddess back in school. Daddy, think about it. There must be a lot of guys who have bad intentions towards her. Aren't you asking her to take a risk? Little Bean rattled on. Little Bean, aren't you afraid that Mommy will kill you if she hears you? Pudding glanced at Little Bean's face. There's only the three of us here. How could Mommy hear us? Daddy won't betray me, unless you too. All right, I'll take you to eat first. Chin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he spent every day with these two devils. Little Bean was very gossipy, and sometimes her words were really shocking. At the entrance of the pork chop rice restaurant, Chin Chu parked the car. Just as he was about to enter with the twins, he suddenly heard a familiar voice. Daddy, what are you looking at? Pudding looked up at her daddy. No, nothing. Let's go in. After Chin Chu came back to his senses, he walked into the restaurant with his daughters. After ordering, Chin Chu took out his phone and sent a WeChat message to Huamin. Honey, where are you? My mother is here. Didn't I tell you just now? Is it still there? Yeah, it's still here. What's wrong? Huamin was curious. I'm fine. You don't suspect me, do you? Damn it. I can video call you. Then, Huamin clicked on the video call invitation. Chin Chu pressed the answer button and saw that Huamin was indeed behind his house at Sky Blessing Court. His mother-in-law was sitting next to Huamin and watching TV. Honey, what's with that expression? Don't you recognize me? Huamin laughed. I just saw. Chin Chu didn't know how to explain it. What did you see? Huamin was even more curious because she had never seen Chin Chu look so confused. Chapter 2457. Nothing. In the end, Chin Chu didn't say anything. You're so paranoid. You scare me to death. Huamin let out a long sigh. Mommy, Come and eat pork chop rice. It's delicious. No, Mommy already ate. You guys eat. Come back early with Daddy. I'll drive home soon. Okay, Mommy. See you later. After hanging up, Little Bean peeked at her daddy and smiled. You said you believed in Mommy. You even video-checked her, right? Good thing Mommy came back early. Otherwise, if she really went to karaoke with her classmates, you would have caught her red-handed. The two kids thought Chin Shu video-called Huamin because he wanted to check on him. In fact, only he knew about it. After dinner, Chin Shu drove the kids back to South Hill Manor. The kids were playing with their grandparents in the living room. Chin Shu went upstairs alone and called Gao Ran. President Chin, what's your order? Gao Ran, help me investigate someone. Who? I don't know who she is. Damn it. Bro, are you kidding me? If you don't know who she is, how do you want me to investigate? Gao Ran was speechless. How about this? Go to the local database and find Mion's photo. Do a comparison and see if there's anyone who looks like her. Someone who looks like Huamin. Gao Ran was completely dumbfounded. Yes. Are you sure? I'm sure. Chin Shu's tone was firm. Bro, I'm a bit confused. What's going on? Are you trying to find Huamin's twin sister? Gao Ran asked. No, I just saw someone on the street today. Forget it. I'll tell you later. You can investigate first. Okay. I'll try. But it might not work. After all, you don't even know her name. It's too hard to investigate. After the phone call with Gao Ran, Chin Shu sat in his study and pondered for a long time. He tapped his fingers on the table, thinking about this strange thing. He didn't even notice Huamin coming in. Huamin came in quietly. Seeing Chin Shu in deep thought, she suddenly jumped out as a prank. Whoa! She wanted to scare Mr. Chin. She didn't expect that he wouldn't fall for it at all, which made her feel very awkward. Can you give me a reaction? It's so embarrassing. Huamian covered her face. Gently, Chin Shu's and put her on his lap. How was the party? In short, it's extremely boring, Huamian concluded. I knew it. I really don't know why these people organize parties. Chin Shu sneered. To expand my network, of course. They're all snobbish and are very polite to me. They even asked why you didn't go. What's even more ridiculous is that when they heard that Wei Dong went bankrupt, they were all so happy. They didn't even have any sympathy for him. Huamian complained. It's normal. This is how society is. So, I don't want to go to parties like this in the future. Yeah, I think so too. By the way, honey, do you remember Lu Zhe? Huamin turned around and hugged Chin Shu's neck. I don't remember. I knew you wouldn't remember. He's a transfer student from our second year of high school. His father is from the Education Bureau. Huamin reminded him. I still don't remember. Okay, Huamin was helpless. What's wrong? Is he here today? Yeah, he's here. He just came back and seems to be rich. He drives a flashy car. I heard he's also a medical student. But I feel like there's something wrong with the timing of his appearance. I can't put my finger on it. Huamin tilted her head and thought. Mion, let me ask you, have you ever seen a woman who looks like you? Chin Shu asked in all seriousness as he placed his hand on her shoulder. Chapter 2458. Someone who looks like me? Huamin was stunned by his question. Yeah. Have you seen her before? Does Mion count? Huamin covered his mouth and laughed. Mion was an artist under Su Yu's company. She had been in the limelight for a while. Later, it was rumored that she met the boss of a corporation. Then, she was busy dating and left the entertainment industry. The woman's stage name had the same pronunciation as Huamin's, so Su Yu paid attention to her and praised her for a while. Later, when the woman found out that Su Yu liked Huamin, she deliberately went to a plastic surgery clinic to change her facial features. She became more delicate and pretty, but she was still far from looking like Huamin. Other than their names, they did not resemble each other at all. No, I'm talking about looks. Think about it carefully, Chin Shu said seriously. Looks? I don't think so. I'm not that good looking to begin with, so even if I had plastic surgery, I don't think anyone would look like me. You know that Yin is my biological sister, but she doesn't look like me at all, let alone anyone else. What's wrong? Why are you suddenly asking this? Nothing. I just happened to see a woman today. Her back looks very similar to yours. Hey, I thought it was something serious. Isn't it normal to have similar backs? Huamin hugged Qin Shu and kissed him gently. Then, he turned around and walked out. I'm going downstairs to check on the kids. You go ahead. As soon as Huamin left, Gao Ran called back. How was it? Did you find her? Qin Shu asked anxiously. Bro, I really looked. I looked very carefully, but I really couldn't find her. She didn't even look 30% like Huamin. Did you see wrongly? Gao Ran browsed through many photos of women on his computer, but he did not find any that looked like Huamin. All right, I got it. After that, Qin Shu hung up the phone and frowned slightly. The situation was getting more and more complicated. At this time, this kind of thing happening was very strange. How could Qin Shu not think about it? Mumbai, India. Lu Yin was wearing a local long dress and a headscarf as she walked carefully on the street. She was really in trouble this time. Not only did she have to hide from Ian, but she also had to worry about the assassins who were after her for the 1 billion. After she and Xiao Fei left Russia, they went to Tanzania, then went all the way from Africa to Australia, and finally to Nepal and India. The more crowded and messy a place was, the better it was for her to hide. However, India was so dirty and messy that she really didn't like it. After buying some snacks, she carried them through a small alley and found 2 Indian men standing in front of her, blocking her way. In order not to expose her whereabouts, Lu Yin didn't want to cause trouble, so she turned around and walked back. However, he realized that there were also 2 bearded Indian men behind him. It seemed that they were surrounded and there was no way out. Hee, this woman looks so fair. She's not like us. We must have some fun today, one of the men said in Indian. I'm in a good mood today and don't want to kill anyone. You have 10 seconds to get out of here, Lu Yin said in perfect Indian. Whoa, she can speak our language. This foreigner is not bad. One of the men was pleasantly surprised. Woman, we don't want to hurt you. Take off your clothes and lie down. The Indian Hindus were like mosquitoes that saw blood when they saw a woman. Their eyes were all filled with bestiality. Damn it, they're forcing me to fight. Lu Yin sighed and threw the food in her hand to the ground. She murmured in Chinese and swung her fists. It had been a long time since she fought with her bare hands. What's she talking about? The Indian men were confused. Chapter 2459. These Hindustani men were really unlucky. There were so many women in Mumbai, but they didn't kidnap anyone. It was the first time Lu Yin had encountered a group of people who wanted to kidnap her. She had heard that Hindustani men were disgusting and would hurt girls on the bus. Since she met them today, she decided to teach them a lesson. She didn't even need to use her gun to deal with these small fries. Seeing Lu Yin toss the food on the ground and rub her palms together, the guys were surprised. However, because they had the advantage in numbers, they still rushed forward regardless of life and death. Lu Yin didn't like the silk scarf on her head, so she pulled it off, revealing her beautiful face. When the Hindustanis saw the girl's face, they pounced on her like hungry wolves. Lu Yin reacted quickly and kicked one of them down. Then, she stepped on the man's body and leaped into the air. She spun around and sat on the man's head. She twisted her legs and broke the man's neck instantly. Her explosive strength was obvious. 2 men screamed like pigs being slaughtered. The other 2 trembled and charged at her. Lu Yin pressed down on one of the men's head and kneed him in the groin. It hurt so much that even his own mother couldn't recognize him. The last one was even easier. Lu Yin opened her scarf and wrapped it around the man's neck. Then she pulled hard. Ugh! The man didn't have time to scream before Lu Yin killed him. If Lu Yin attacked them, they would all die without exception. She killed 4 people in less than 50 seconds. This was Lu Yin, a legendary woman in the mercenary world. Looking at the 4 dead bodies on the ground, Lu Yin wiped her hands with a tissue. Then, she picked up the food bags on the ground and walked back to her room. To avoid being hunted, she and Xiao Fei rented a private apartment. It was only 100 square meters, but was very luxurious. It was the 3rd floor of a residential building. When she returned, she felt something was wrong. She quickened her steps and saw the door was open. There were bloodstains at the door. She was shocked. She put the pistol in her sleeve and rushed in. Sure enough, there were 2 unfamiliar bodies in the room, a man and a woman. Xiao Fei, Lu Yin yelled in panic. She was really afraid that something would happen to him. Psycho Xiao, come out. Lu Yan's voice trembled. At this moment, a familiar figure walked out of the kitchen with a can of beer in his hand. I'm here. What's wrong? Are you okay? Lu Yan rushed up and asked with concern. I'm fine. Then Lu Yan pointed at the unfamiliar bodies on the ground. These people are nothing. I killed them. I thought you were coming back soon, so I went to the kitchen. Didn't you want to cook noodles for me? Oh, where are the noodles? Damn it, you scared me to death. Lu Yan roared and threw the food in her hand at Xiao Fei angrily. Lu Yan's Lu Yan was Lu a lesson. To Lu Yan's fuck off. I don't want to worry about you. It's best if you die so that I don't have to pay for your food and lodging, Lu Yan said angrily. Arya is very angry. What happened? Did you get robbed on your way back? Xiao Fei asked. How did you know? Lu Yan looked back at him curiously. You were full of murderous intent when you came back. How could I not know? Xiao Fei leaned against the door and looked at Lu Yan. This place is not safe. We must leave as soon as possible, Lu Yan said uneasily as she looked at the bodies on the ground. Where should we go? Do you have a good idea? Psycho Xiao, do you think we should go find my sister or my dad? Lu Yan looked back and asked Xiao Fei seriously. Chapter 2460. You mean, Xiao Fei didn't expect Lu Yan to come up with such a crazy idea. That's right. Instead of running around the world, I'd rather go find my family. But aren't you afraid of bringing trouble to them? Especially your sister. I can't be afraid forever. You know that Ian is investigating now. I think it won't be long before he finds out about your sister. I'm afraid we can't hide it for long. It's better to face it directly than to live in fear. Even so, I still think you're too reckless. Xiao Fei, I'm afraid, what if? Lu Yan didn't finish her sentence. Xiao Fei walked over, took her hand, and put it to his lips. Don't think too much. You have me. He knew what Lu Yan wanted to say, but he wouldn't let her say something so pessimistic. As long as he was alive, he wouldn't let anything happen to Lu Yan. Hearing this, Lu Yan felt warmth in her heart. The more time she spent with Xiao Fei, the more she realized that he was a man of few words. But when it came to warmth, he was no worse than anyone else. In fact, he was even better at it. She wanted to say that she was afraid that she would be killed one day and wouldn't even be able to see her family for the last time. He met his father, his sister, and his mischievous nieces. But Xiao Fei didn't let her say it, so she felt that this man really cared about her. The two didn't have time to eat. They simply packed their luggage and left Mumbai in a hurry. Due to the chaos in India, the airport was absolutely safe. Xiao Fei and Lu Yan got an old pickup truck and drove through 3 cities. Then, they changed planes and flew away, shaking off their pursuers. In the headquarters of Indonesia, sir, they ran away. One of the soldiers reported in Indonesian. Bastard. The old Indonesian officer stood up and slammed the table in anger, cursing his subordinates. You bunch of idiots. You can't even catch a woman. Sir, she's not an ordinary woman. She's very powerful. Those assassins who went for the bounty all died in her hands. I don't want to listen to your explanation. Continue the hunt. Yes, sir. When the soldier turned to leave, Ian walked in with his subordinate. Officer Merck, you're so angry. Ian smiled. Master Ian, you're here. The officer immediately greeted Ian politely when he saw him. How is it? I heard you have news about Lu Yan. Ian leaned against the sofa and asked casually. Yes, but they ran away. I sent a lot of people to Mumbai, but at this point, the officers seemed to be ashamed. Don't be depressed. It's normal that you can't kill Lu Yan. If you could kill her so easily, you wouldn't be a top mercenary. Yes, Lord Ian is right. How about this? Stop sending your people and don't cause any more trouble. Leave Lu Yan to me. I want her alive. Master Ian wants to capture that woman as well. Yes, she is very useful to me. Ian smiled mysteriously. Okay, then I'll send her current whereabouts to you, sir. After saying that, the officer picked up a high-tech positioning device and handed it to Ian. According to our tracking, she and her partner have already taken a flight to Israel. They'll arrive in 5 hours. Partner? Oh, right, I almost forgot. That guy from the Chow family left his family and is with her now, Ian said slowly as he rested his head on his hand. Sir, do you need us to set up a hunting operation in Israel? That's our territory, one of Ian's subordinates whispered in his ear. Chapter 2461. No need. I want Lu Yin alive, not dead, Ian said slowly. Sir, that woman bombed your branch. Don't you hate her? The Indonesian officer didn't understand why Ian was so merciful. She's probably the only person in the world who dares to go against me. If she dies, I'll be bored for the next 6 months. Ian placed his finger on his lips and kissed it. Then, he revealed a bloodthirsty smile. He hadn't had enough of this game of cat and mouse because Lu Yin was too tenacious. She had lost her life to him many times, but in the end, she came back from the brink of death and fought back. This made him more and more interested in her. Southside Recuperation Center. When it was time for the morning meeting, Director Wu brought a young man in with him, causing everyone to look over. Colleagues, this is Lu Zhe, a new doctor from the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery. Huamin was looking down at the documents, but when he heard the name, he looked up immediately. It's him. Huamin was surprised to see Lu Zhe. They had just met at the party, and he didn't expect him to come so soon. He even went straight to President Wu. He was really something. Huamin, director. Huamin heard President Wu call his name and slowly stood up. You're the vice director of Southside. Please take care of our new colleague. Dr. Lu is very good and has won many awards. Okay. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. Lu Zhe looked at Huamin and smiled gently. Please take care of me, Vice Director Hua. You're welcome, Dr. Lu. After the morning meeting, Huamin took the documents and walked to his office. Lu Zhe followed him. Hi, we meet again. He smiled. Yeah, what a coincidence. Huamin's tone was perfunctory. You don't think it's rude of me to do this, do you? Of course not. It's your right to choose where to work, Huamin said indifferently. That's good. I just came back from abroad, and there are many things that I don't know. As an old classmate, you have to take care of me. You're exaggerating. Everyone has a profession. Although I'm the vice president, I'm just a doctor. Don't think too highly of me. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. That won't happen. You're a genius. I've heard about all the things you've done in China. When you were an intern nurse, you performed a C-section on a pregnant woman. Even though you were sued, you still saved the mother and child. Later on, you even saved President Wu's niece's pregnancy. All in all, I've heard about all the amazing surgeries you performed. I really admire you. Lu Zhe looked at Huamin with slight admiration. Those are just rumors. Saving patients is what doctors should do. If you were in that situation, you would do the same. No, it's different. I know you're still that kind girl. I heard you're Professor Luo's student. How should I put it? You could say that. I owe Professor Luo a lot, Huamin said vaguely. What a coincidence. Professor Luo used to be my mentor. After I left the country, we kept in touch. I heard about you from him. At the time, I thought that many years later, you were still the same person. You're always the center of attention. Dr. Lu, it's time to go back to work. You should report to your department head now. Have a good day. Huamin didn't want to catch up with Lu Zhe at all. If he tried to curry favor with him, it would only make Huamin more cautious. Inside the office, Huamin thought for a while and called Jiang Xiaowei, who was back at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Mian, what's up? Xiaowei knew that something must have happened if he called her at work. Xiaowei, help me investigate someone. Chapter 2462. Okay, what is it? Lu Zhe, do you know where he lives? Jiang Xiaowei turned on her computer and entered the city bureau's system to search for information. I don't know. I think he moved a long time ago. Apparently, his parents are abroad. How do we find out? There are many people with the name Lu Zhe. He used to study at Second High School. His father used to be a high official in the Ministry of Education. Huamin provided some useful information. Okay, wait a moment. A minute later, Jiang Xiaowei sent the information she found to Huamin's phone. Huamin was slightly disappointed after reading it. The information was simple and didn't seem suspicious. Just then, Jiang Xiaowei sent her a WeChat message. Mian, How was it? Did it help you? No, the information is too simple. I couldn't find anything. What's wrong with this guy? Did he offend you? Jiang Xiaowei asked again. No, I just think he's very suspicious. I want to find out what he's up to. Oh, I see. Why don't you talk to Qin Shu and ask him to investigate you through other channels? Maybe he'll find something, Jiang Xiaowei suggested. Okay, I'll talk to Mr. Qin later. Putting down his phone, Huamin fell into deep thought. Mr. Qin had a lot of things to deal with recently, and Lu Zhe didn't seem to have done anything inappropriate to her. She didn't want to think that this guy had ulterior motives, so she didn't want to tell Mr. Qin so that he wouldn't worry. Just then, her phone rang again. Huamin looked down and saw that it was Suyu. Suyu rarely called her, so Huamin picked up immediately. Mian, where are you? At the hospital's south side. Did you leave the house just now? Did you come to Anqing Road? Suyu asked. No, I came to south side this morning. I just finished a meeting. Why? I see. Suyu was deep in thought. What is it? Huamin asked nervously. Then I probably got the wrong person. Suyu murmured in a low voice and hung up the phone. Huamin frowned slightly. Did Suyu also see someone who looked like her? What was going on? At the entrance of a bank on Anqing Road, Suyu and In drove to the bank. When they came out, they saw a girl whose side profile was very similar to Huamin. Most importantly, her temperament, clothes, and hairstyle were very similar. What the hell? I thought it was Mian, but she's still at Southside. Suyu was confused. President Su, I think so too. Could it be that President Hua has a twin sister? An's imagination ran wild as he pondered. That's impossible. Huamin knows his own background. He shouldn't have a sister. Is it really a coincidence? What the hell? Good thing I didn't go up and say hi, or else it would have been so awkward. Then, Suyu got into his Lamborghini. After Qin Shu, Suyu was the second person who saw someone who looked like Huamin. Luckily, he was calm enough to call and ask first. At the entrance of a kindergarten, Yin drove a white Porsche sports car to the entrance of the kindergarten to pick up her daughter. When she was told that her daughter had been picked up by someone, she froze. Then, she felt that something was wrong. If Shen Mingxi had picked up her daughter, he would have told her. He wouldn't have done it secretly. How do you take care of your children? How can you just let someone pick up my daughter? Hui Yin was furious. Miss Hua, we didn't do it casually. The person who picked up Tian was your older brother, the uncle of child. He's a man of status. So my older brother? Hui Yin was dumbfounded when she heard this. Is it Hua Xiqian? She asked in a trembling voice. Chapter 2463. Yes, it's Mr. Hua Xiqian. If he didn't tell us, we wouldn't have known that Tian's uncle is President Hua. Hui Yin didn't have time to listen to what the kindergarten teacher said. She turned around and ran. After she got in her car, she stepped on the gas and sped away. A few teachers who didn't know what was going on were still talking about it. I thought Tian's mother was a mistress or something. She's President Hua's sister. Yeah, no wonder she's so rich. She drives a Porsche and carries bags that cost more than 100,000 yuan. I heard that a young lady from GK is also from the Hua family. Maybe they're related. After Hua Yin got in her car, she immediately dialed Hua Xiqian's number. No one picked up. This made her even more anxious. At the Kempinski Hotel, Western restaurant, Tian, is it good? Hua Xiqian was wearing a black tuxedo. He looked very gentlemanly as he sat beside Tian. He ordered a lot of desserts, ice cream, and pizza for the child. Tian was clearly enjoying the food. It's delicious. This is the best cake I've ever had. Thank you, Uncle. Children were all innocent and didn't know about the grudges between adults. You're welcome. Eat more if it's delicious. Uncle, when is my mommy coming to pick me up? The little girl looked up and asked. No rush. Your mommy is busy right now and will probably come later. Uncle will accompany you. After we finish eating, let's go watch cartoons, okay? Do you like Bonnie Bears? I don't like it. That's outdated. I like to watch Peppa Pig now. I like to watch Polly the Transformed Police Car. Oh, I see. Okay, then we'll watch whatever you like, okay? Hua Xiqian patiently coaxed the child. He lovingly patted her head. Okay, Uncle, you're the best. Hua Xiqian's phone vibrated. He took it out and looked at the caller ID coldly. Bitch, you're finally anxious. Who told you to make things difficult for me behind my back? Now it's your turn. What, are you scared? Huasiqian said to himself. He looked at Hui Yinyan's call, but didn't pick it up. It was easy to find out where Hui Yinyan's daughter went to school, and it was even easier to pick her up. Hui Yinyan couldn't stay calm anymore. She wanted to call the police, but the police couldn't come in time. Someone like Huasiqian wouldn't be afraid of the police, right? What if something happened to Tian Tian? What would she do? Suddenly, a figure of persons appear on the side of suddenly appeared. Herza T's A S. Now, he had a resort to scamming. It was disgusting. When a man saw Hui Yinyan, he was surprised at first, but then he smiled proudly. Oh, isn't this my ex-wife? Even if you're an acquaintance, I'll give you a discount. Now that you're with a rich man, I'm sure you're very rich. 1 million yuan, transfer it to my card, and we're done here. Otherwise, don't blame me for not letting you leave today. My leg is injured, and even if the traffic police come, they won't be able to find any clues. It seemed that he had done this very carefully. Get out of my way. I'm going to save Tian Tian. Well, Yan was in no mood to deal with this scumbag. Don't use the child as an excuse. I'm not. I'm really in a hurry. Get out of my way. Hui Yinyan angrily turned back to her car and restarted it. Hui Yinyan, don't even think about leaving if you don't give me the money. Either you give me the money or you run over me. The scumbag wouldn't let go, trapping Hui Yinyan here. She was so angry that she lost her mind. She started the car and rushed towards the man with her eyes wide open. Hey, what are you doing? Do you really want to kill me? You're crazy. The man yelled in fear as he watched the car speeding towards him. Chapter 2464. Just as Hui Yinyan lost her mind and rushed over, the scumbag quickly dodged and was almost killed by the car. Crazy woman, you're fucking crazy, the man cursed behind her. And drove away in her Porsche. If it weren't for the fact that she had to save the child today, she would have taught this man a lesson. After much consideration, Hui Yinyan decided to ask Shin Mingxi for help. After all, he was her man now. The Shin Corporation. Miss Hua, you're here. Shin Mingxi's secretary greeted her politely when she saw her. Is Mr. Shin here? He's in the small conference room. Should I inform him? Yes, please. I have something urgent to talk to him about. Hui Yinyan was very anxious. Okay, I'll inform him right away. After the secretary informed Hui Yinyan, Shin Mingxi left the client who was in the middle of a business meeting and walked out in a hurry. Yinyan, what's so urgent? I called you. Why did you turn off your phone? Hui Yinyan asked with tears in her eyes. My phone ran out of battery and I didn't have time to charge it. A client just came in. What's wrong? Shin Mingxi put his arm around Hui Yinyan's shoulder. He walked into the office and helped her sit down on the sofa. Mingxi, Tian Tian, was taken away by Huasiqian. What? Shin Mingxi froze when he heard this. What should I do? Help me think of a way to save her. Did Huasiqian find out about us and take revenge on me? I can't live without Tian Tian. Please help me. Hui Yinyan lost her usual calmness and rationality and burst into tears. Yinyan, don't cry. What happened? Tell me slowly. Today, I went to pick her up from school. When I arrived, I didn't see her. I asked the teacher, but she said that she was taken away by someone who said that he was her uncle. You know, Huasiqian is very good at disguising himself. The teachers must have thought that he was an entrepreneur with the same surname as me. They didn't suspect anything and let him take her away. I called Huasiqian, but he didn't pick up. He did it on purpose. Do you think he'll kill Tian Tian? Hui Yinyan's words came out intermittently. Shin Mingxi got the gist of what was going on from her sobbing. Huasiqian is despicable. Shin Mingxi's brows furrowed. Mingxi, what should we do now? Should we call the police? Yinyan's words. Let's go. Shin Mingxi picked up his jacket and walked out. He pulled Hui Yinyan into the car. Then, he asked his men to investigate Huasiqian's current location. In the end, they found out that Huasiqian was having afternoon tea at the Kempinski Hotel. The two of them hurriedly drove to the hotel. As expected, Huasiqian was sitting by the window, leisurely drinking tea. However, he was alone. There was no sign of Tian Tian beside him. Huasiqian, where's my daughter? Huyen walked over and asked agitatedly, "What are you asking? How would I know where your daughter is?" Hua Xiqian laughed. "Don't play dumb. The kindergarten teacher personally confirmed that you took my child away. If you don't hand her over, I'll call the police." "Call the police?" "Haha, very good. Go ahead and call the police. Let's see if calling the police will work." Hua Xiqian laughed mockingly. "President Hua, even if there's a misunderstanding between you and Yin Yin, you shouldn't have involved the child. As a man, I think you shouldn't be so despicable," Shen Mingshi said coldly as he looked at Hua Xiqian. "I'm despicable? You must be joking. President Shun, you're pretending to work with me and setting me up at the same time. Is it something to be proud of?" Hua Xiqian raised his eyebrows and looked at Shun Mingshi. Immediately, he and Hua Yinyin exchanged glances. It seemed that Hua Xiqian already knew everything. "Hua Xiqian, what do you want? The child doesn't know anything. She's innocent. Don't go overboard," Hua Yinyin roared. "Hua Yinyin, be a little more polite. Do you believe that I can turn your daughter into a corpse in the next second?" Hua Xiqian said slowly. Chapter 2465. "You're wrong. If it weren't for Mion, you wouldn't have gotten involved. There's no grudge between you and me, so don't think too highly of yourself. If it weren't for Mion, do you think I would have let you live after Huasi died? You should thank her for being able to live to this day. But you, a woman who doesn't know the difference between life and death, come to seek death again." Hua Xiqian hated Hua Yinyin to the core. He hated her in the past, he hated her now, and he would continue to hate her in the future. Not only was she as arrogant and stupid as Hua Xi, but she was also brainless. Therefore, the things she did were shameful. I regret not." Hua Yinyin was about to bring it up when she realized it wasn't appropriate. "Regret what?" "Regret that you didn't poison me with Mo Shui." Hua Xiqian raised his eyebrows. How did you know?" Hua Yinyin felt a chill run down her spine. "You're not even fit to carry Mion's shoes. Let me tell you, Mo Shui's every move is under my control. Although she thinks she's smart, she's better than you in that she's willing to risk her life. At the very least, she's not afraid of death. You, on the other hand, use someone else to do something you can't do yourself. You used your disgusting bunny face to trick this man into risking his life for you. How could you do that? A woman like you who treats love like a toy is destined to never find true love. This is your karma." Hua Yinyin wanted to say something, but at this moment, she couldn't refute. She didn't expect him to know about her secret deal with Mo Shui. Luckily, she didn't do anything to him, or else the consequences would have been unimaginable. "Don't ever fight with me. I can make you wish you were dead." This was Hua Xiqian's advice to her and the man beside her. "Yinyin, let's go find Hua Min. If he doesn't see Hua Yinyin, he won't let Tian go." Shen Mingshi lowered his voice and whispered into Hua Yinyin's ear. "Why aren't you going? If I change my mind, your daughter will become a mummy." Hua Xiqian sneered. Hua Yinyin clenched her fists and turned around to run. Shen Mingshi followed behind her. "Boss, Shen Mingshi looks smart. Why is he willing to be used by Hua Yinyin?" Hua Xiqian's subordinates felt sorry for young Master Shen. The difference between Shen Mingshi and the other three is that they know what they want, but he never knows what he wants. When he married the Wei family, although he didn't want to, he compromised because of his family's influence. Later, when he saw Yin Yin was in dire straits, he sympathized with her and treated her well. Later, Yin Yin saw through him and used him. She lured him into quarreling with Wei Ying and breaking up with the Wei family. Then, naturally, he got together with Hua Yinyin, but that's not the scariest part. Hua Xiqian paused and continued. The scariest part is that Shen Mingshi always thought that his affair with Hua Yinyin was love. Now that you mention it, boss, he's indeed different from Su Yu and the others. Of course they're different. Su Yu is very smart. Most importantly, he has good taste and can see all the good things about Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian smiled. Walking out of the hotel, Yin Yin was worried. She didn't know if Hua Min would help her if she begged Hua Min. After all, Hua Min hated her identity as a third party. Ever since she got together with Shen Mingshi, Huamin didn't seem to be as friendly to her as before. Chapter 2466. Southside Recuperation Center. Huamin took off his black-rimmed glasses and white lab coat, ready to get off work. Chief, I'm leaving now. Drive slowly. Bye. Okay. Yeah, you too. After saying goodbye, Huamin picked up his bag. Just as he was about to lock his office door, he saw Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan walk in. Mian. Hua Yinyan opened her mouth, her eyes red and swollen. What's wrong? Are you here for checkup? Huamin was surprised. No, we're here for you, Shun Mingxi said slowly. Then come in. Huamin didn't lock his office door. He opened it again and led them in. Mian, Hua Xiqian kidnapped my daughter. You have to help me save her. Hua Yinyan grabbed Huamin's hand emotionally, tears rolling down her cheeks again. Hua Xiqian kidnapped Tian? What's going on? Huamin was also confused. She poured 2 glasses of water for Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan. Then, Hua Yinyan told them what happened while crying. After hearing her story, Huamin fell silent, his expression serious. Huamin, I hope you can help Yinyan. Shun Mingxi only cared about Hua Yinyan and ignored Hua Min's difficulties. Young Master Shun, this is not that simple. First, let me ask you a question. Recently, did you do something to Hua Xiqian? From what I know of him, if he wanted to take revenge on Yinyan, he would have done it a long time ago. Unless, did you provoke him? Huamin asked seriously. Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan looked at each other and nodded, not daring to hide anything. We did do something that made the Hua Corporation's stock market plunge. I thought he wouldn't know it was us. After all, he has so many enemies, Hua Yinyan said weakly. You wanted to think it was Qin Chu who did it, right? Huamin asked calmly. No, that's not what I was thinking. Hua Yinyan immediately waved her hand and explained. It's fine. It's normal for you to think that way. The whole world knows that Hua Xiqian's enemy is Qin Chu. So, no matter who did something to hurt the Hua Corporation, others might think it was Qin Chu who did it. But the point is, Hua Xiqian is not an ordinary person. He's not stupid. He'll definitely investigate. Whatever you did can't escape his eyes. I warned you that Hua Xiqian is not easy to deal with, but you didn't listen. You thought I was afraid of him, but what about now? You're also dumbfounded by what happened to your child, aren't you? Hua Yinyan didn't say anything. She just lowered her head and cried, listening to Huamin scolding her. Shun Mingxi, on the other hand, had been defending Hua Yinyan, so he argued, Huamin, now is not the time to blame Yinyan. Saving people is more important. Do you really think Hua Xiqian just wants to see me? Do you know that my husband arranged a lot of people to protect me, just in case I get kidnapped by Hua Xiqian one day? If I go see him, won't I be like a lamb in a tiger's den? He won't hurt you, right? Shun Mingxi froze. He didn't seem to know much about the relationship between Hua Xiqian and Huamin. Yinyan, you should know better than anyone that Hua Xiqian won't hurt me. Huamin glanced at Hua Yinyan coldly. Yes, I know. I don't have a choice. Mian, I beg you. I can't lose my daughter. Hua Yinyan got up, knelt down, and kowtowed to Huamin. Shun Mingxi went to help her up. Yinyan, get up. What are you doing? Yinyan, you said it yourself. You can't lose your daughter. What about me? I'm also a mother. If something happens to me over there, what will happen to my 2 daughters? Huamin asked word by word. He didn't feel good either. He knew that his words might sound too cold, but it was the truth. Chapter 2467. Huamin, are you saying that you won't help me? Shun Mingxi seemed to be complaining. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I can't, Huamin answered without hesitation. Get up, Yinyan. Let's go. No, Huamin, I beg you. This is the last time, okay? Since I saved Little Bean and Little Bean's lives, please help me. Sure enough, Yinyan finished her act and continued to play the kindness card. Seeing that Huamin didn't speak, Yinyan continued, I know you're a righteous person and look down on me. You've always thought that I was the third party who came between Mingxi and Wei Ying. Wei Ying is young Master Wei's sister and Dr. Zhang's sister-in-law. You've always been close to them, so it's normal that you don't like me. It's not that I don't like you, Yin Yin. You have to have a conscience. It's not like that. Hua Min was surprised that Hua Yin Yin could twist the truth and try to provoke her into going to Hua Xiqian. Although she did it for her daughter, Hua Min was still surprised that Hua Yin Yin would do it. Forget it, Yin Yin. Don't beg. Not everyone knows how to be grateful. You saved her daughter, but she might not save yours. Not many women are as stupid and kind as you. Let's go. I'll fight Hua Xiqian to the death. I won't let anything happen to the kids. Shen Mingxi's words were harsh, as if all women in the world, except for Hua Yin Yin, were evil and evil. Seeing Shen Mingxi drag Hua Yin Yin out, Hua Min closed his eyes. Forget it. I promise you. Mian, you're willing to help me? Hua Yin Yin turned around abruptly, a hint of joy flashing in her eyes. Yes, I'll help you. This is the last time. Just as you said, you saved my daughter. Now it's my turn to repay you. That's not what I meant. I just wanted to save my daughter. You don't have to explain. I understand. Hua Min turned and walked out, locking the office door behind him. I'm going to talk to Hua Xiqian now. You guys go home and wait for my news. He's a man of his word. I think the kids. And you'd better leave now. Don't let my husband know that you came to see me. If he knows, he won't. He won't let you get away. Then coldly, Huaz's Hua Min turned. Hua Yin Ya Seat Ts, a TT he to see a 8, S2s, TT Chin Chu aside. Even Su Yu would be furious if he knew. The reason why Hua Min was angry and didn't want to help Hua Yin Yin was because he thought she was despicable. He had warned her not to mess with Hua Xiqian, but she didn't listen. Now that things had gotten out of hand, she had to clean up the mess. Hua Yin Yin was indeed pitiful to have to take care of her child. But even a most pitiful villain was detestable. Hua Mian didn't sympathize with Hua Yin Yin at all. Just as she said, she was helping Hua Yin Yin one last time because she wanted to repay Hua Yin Yin for letting Hua Yin Yin go. Yin Yin, don't cry. If Hua Min goes, I'm sure Hua Xiqian will let her go. He comforted Hua Yin Yin. The two walked out of Southside and drove away. When Hua Min came out, she called Hua Xiqian with her colleague's phone. Then, she drove to the hotel alone. She had a feeling that this meeting with Hua Xiqian wasn't as simple as it seemed. She had a feeling that something big was about to happen. As she drove, she felt uneasy. Chapter 2468. Inside the hotel lounge, Hua Yin Yin's daughter sat on the sofa with a pink Peppa Pig doll in her hand. Uncle, when can I go home? Soon. When I'm done, I'll send someone to drive you home. Okay. Do you want to go home? Hua Xiqian sat down beside the little girl. Yeah. If I don't go home, Mommy will worry about me, Tian Tian said in a low voice. Is your mommy good to you? Hua Xiqian suddenly asked. Yeah, she's good. It's just that sometimes when she's in a bad mood, she smashes a lot of things. I get scared. Does your dad come to see you? Dad came to see us a few times, but he always asked for money. Mommy said that Dad isn't a good person and that he'll get his retribution sooner or later. Uncle Shun is a good person. He's good to us and gives us money to spend. He buys us a lot of nice things. Your mommy taught you these things? Hua Xiqian was a bit surprised. Then, he looked down on Hua Yin even more. How could she teach her child to hate? Such a young child had to distinguish between rich and good people. What kind of education was this? Why weren't the two cute kids in Mian's family like this? It seemed that children's reincarnation was really a skill. Uncle, are you not on good terms with my mommy? Tian Tian raised her head with the doll in her arms and asked weakly. Why would you say that? Hua Xiqian smiled. Because I've never seen you before. Mommy must not be on good terms with you. The little girl's words made sense. Hua Xiqian was silent for a while and then smiled. Your mommy and I are not on good terms, but that has nothing to do with you. Also, don't be like your mom. You're still young. When you grow up, you have to learn to distinguish right from wrong. Tian Tian was confused. Hua Xiqian was also a bit surprised that he was lecturing her. In fact, if she wasn't Hua Yin Yin's child, he would really like Tian Tian. This child was honest, obedient, and knew how to read people's faces. She wasn't naughty and didn't have princess syndrome. What a pity! Hua Xiqian was deep in thought when one of his subordinates walked over and said softly, Boss, Miss Hua is here. Tell me, which Miss Hua Yin Yin? Hua Xiqian wanted to confirm if Hua Yinyin was back. It's Miss Mian. She's outside. All right. Tell the kitchen to start cooking. All right. Tian, I'll get someone to send you home now. All right, but the little girl seemed to be hesitating. What's wrong? Hua Xiqian asked curiously. Uncle, can I take this toy with me? I really like this doll, and I want to bring it home. Is that okay? The little girl carefully looked at Hua Xiqian's expression and asked, Of course. That's great. Thank you, Uncle. The little girl danced with joy when she heard that Hua Xiqian had agreed. Along, drive her home. Just leave her at the security guard's office, Hua Xiqian instructed. Yes, boss. After settling Tian down, Hua Xiqian walked out and saw Hua Min sitting there expressionlessly. Mian, you're here. Hua Xiqian's eyes were always filled with tenderness when he saw her. Where's Hua Yinyin's child? Since I'm here, shouldn't you let her go? Hua Min ordered impolitely. She's on her way. Don't worry, I always keep my word. Hua Xiqian smiled. Mian, let me guess. How did Hua Yinyin convince you to come? Hua Xiqian smiled mysteriously. Chapter 2469. Hua Min didn't say anything. Instead, he looked at him quietly. She's probably going to put on a pitiful act. She's going to cry about how I kidnapped her daughter and how I'm an asshole, right? Is she wrong? Hua Min asked coldly. Then, when it comes to the emotional part, she might also kowtow to you and beg you to find me, right? Hua Min bit his lip and didn't say anything. However, Hua Xiqian was right. Let me guess. If she still can't convince you in the end, she's going to use her trump card. If I remember correctly, she was the one who saved your twins when Hua Si kidnapped them last time. So, she must be using this incident to convince you to repay her kindness, right? It seems like you know Hua Yinyin well. Hua Min was impressed by Hua Xiqian's guesses. He was right. Hua Yinyin was crying, throwing a tantrum, and threatening to hang herself. She did everything she could. Hua Min didn't want to, but he still came. Hua Min was the most principled person. She was never a heartless person. Of course I know her. If you weren't close to her and always protected her, do you think I would have let her live until now after Hua Si's death? She didn't know her place. Instead, she hooked up with that brainless guy from the Shen family. Then, they teamed up and used petty tricks to deal with me. What an eyesore. So, you kidnapped her daughter to threaten her? Hua Min glared at him. Isn't that the most direct and effective way? Hua Xiqian spread his hands, looking nonchalant. I hate your smug face the most. You think you're doing nothing wrong, but I've never approved of your methods. It's okay. I don't need your approval or understanding. It's okay. Hua Xiqian smiled. At this time, the waiters began to serve the dishes one after another. They were all seafood. Lobsters, abalones, crabs, phoenix tail prawns, scallops, everything. They're all very fresh. Eat them while they're hot. Hua Xiqian picked up the prawn and began to peel it. Then, he carefully handed the prawn to Hua Min. Only Hua Min could make Hua Xiqian spend so much effort to please him. Hua Xiqian, I'm not here today to eat with you. I'm here to repay Hua Yinyin's kindness. I know, he said. At that moment, Hua Min's phone rang. It was a call from Hua Yinyin. She raised her hand to answer the call. Mian, the security office in our neighborhood called and said that the kids have gone home. Thank you so much. You're welcome. As long as the kids are fine. Hua Min hung up the phone. Hua Min stood up. Since there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Mian, aren't you going to sit down and have dinner with me? Hua Xiqian tried to persuade her to stay. You know how much I don't like you. Hua Min turned around and looked at him calmly. Of course I know, but it doesn't affect my love for you. It's just like all these years I've watched you treat everyone well, except for me. There's no point in talking about this. What do you want? Just be straightforward. You should know that if I go home late, Qin Shu will definitely come looking for me. Then, Hua Min didn't continue. You think I'm afraid of him? Hua Xiqian laughed. You're not afraid, but he definitely won't let you go. If you've been living a comfortable life for too long and want some excitement, you can give it a try. Mian, I really like how you can stay rational at all times. Hua Xiqian looked at her with infatuation. Hua Min didn't say anything. Mian, how about we make a bet? Hua Xiqian said with a smile as he peeled the crab's shell. Chapter 2470. What do you want to bet on? A lifetime of happiness. Hua Xiqian looked up abruptly and met Huamin's eyes. His eyes were filled with a light that she had never seen before. I don't really understand what you mean. Let's talk about the stakes first. Huamin didn't know what Hua Xiqian was up to, so she kept her guard up. If you lose, you'll have to go with me to the ends of the earth. If I lose, I'll give you my life and end it on my own. Upon hearing Hua Xiqian's words, Huamin was a little shocked. She didn't think that Hua Xiqian would make such a big bet this time. What do you want to bet on? Let's bet that you and Qin Chu can't withstand the test, okay? Hua Xiqian smiled meaningfully. Huamin felt a chill run down her spine when she saw his smile. Why should I bet with you? Don't you want to see if the man you said you loved your whole life will have a change of heart and can't withstand the test? He definitely won't. That's hard to say. So, do you want to bet with me? You don't have to provoke me. I won't fall for your tricks. I have absolute trust in Mr. Qin. You can't just provoke me with a few words. So are you scared? My little sister Mian. What am I scared of? What do I have to be scared of? Huamin was a little annoyed and turned to look at Hua Xiqian. You're not sure either. That's why you're scared. You don't dare to bet with me. You're scared that you and Qin Chu can't withstand the test. Whatever you say, it's ridiculous. Either you tie me up and leave me here, or I'm leaving right now. I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. After speaking, Huamin walked out confidently. Boss, are we letting Miss Mian go just like that? One of his subordinates ran over and asked. He seemed to know that the boss was someone he had invited with great difficulty. How could he let him go so easily? Let her go. There's no hurry. Hua Xiqian sent a short video to Qin Chu's phone. With a ring, Qin Chu received a video call. When he opened it, his face slowly darkened. They couldn't hear anything, but they could see that Huamin and Hua Xiqian were sitting face to face. Hua Xiqian was still peeling the shrimp and handing it to Huamin. The image ended there. It only lasted for about 7 to 8 seconds. Daddy, what's wrong? Little Bean was watching TV on the side and saw that her daddy's face didn't look right. It's nothing. It's just a spam message. After Qin Chu said that, he closed his phone and didn't say anything else. Not long after, Huamin came home. Hello, babies. Mommy, you're home so late today. Are you working overtime at the hospital again? Little Bean asked. Yeah. The hospital has been very busy lately. There are a lot of surgeries. Huamin explained randomly. You just had a surgery? Qin Chu asked casually. Yeah. Why? Huamin replied, not noticing anything. Nothing. Have you eaten? Yeah. Huamin didn't have much of an appetite, so he lied. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. I'm so tired. After Huamin said that, he went upstairs. However, he didn't notice the subtle change on Qin Chu's face. 9 p.m. After Qin Chu finished dealing with company matters in the study, he returned to the bedroom. Huamin was already lying on the bed with a medical research book in his hand. You're done. Huamin rolled over and hugged Qin Chu's waist. Yeah, honey, what's wrong with you today? You don't seem to be in a good mood. Seeing how worried Qin Chu was, Huamin couldn't help but ask, Honey, has Hua Xiqian been looking for you lately? Qin Chu asked casually. Chapter 2471. No, why do you ask? Huamin felt a little guilty when he said this. He didn't want Mr. Qin to worry, so he didn't dare to talk about what happened tonight. Plus, if he told the truth, Mr. Qin might go look for Shen Mingxi and Hua Yinyan. Nothing, I'm just asking. Then, Qin Chu lay down and closed his eyes. You're sleeping so early? What time is it? Huamin laid on Qin Chu's chest and whined. Honey, I'm a little tired. Let's sleep. All right then. Huamin knew he was asking for trouble, so he lay down beside Qin Chu, turned around, and closed his eyes. The atmosphere between the couple was a little weird, but they both had their own thoughts and didn't want to say it out loud. The truth was, sometimes misunderstandings were scary. If they couldn't be resolved, it would only get worse and worse. The next morning, when Huamin woke up for breakfast, he didn't see Qin Chu. Mrs. Qin woke up early and made dumplings for the twins with the maids in the kitchen. Mom, where's Chu? Huamin picked up a glass of milk and took a sip. Oh, he went to work. So early? Huamin was a little surprised. He said he had to go to the construction site first, so he left a little early. He also told me not to wake you up and let you sleep a little longer. Lady Qin smiled. Oh, okay. After a simple breakfast, Huamin drove to Southside. However, just as he was about to reach Southside, the car broke down at a fork in the road. Embarrassed, Huamin forced the car into the emergency lane and was about to call the repair shop. Just as he was about to call the phone, he saw a flashy purple Ferrari parked by the side of the road. What's wrong? Huamin? My car has a problem. Pointing to his car, Huamin said. Let me have a look, Lu Zhe said as he walked over. You know how to fix cars? A little. After that, he walked to the front of the car, lifted the hood, and checked the engine. You have parts that need to be replaced. You should go to the 4S shop for repairs. All right. Huamin then called the repair shop and got ready to flag down a taxi. It's not that far away. Why are you still taking a taxi? Come on, we're all colleagues. I'll give you a ride. Lu Zhe smiled. Huamin was a little embarrassed, but he still got into his car. Because it was a supercar, there were only 2 seats. Huamin had no choice but to sit beside him in the front passenger seat. Seatbelt, he reminded her with a smile. Huamin put on his seatbelt, and the two of them headed to Southside. To be honest, I didn't expect you to really become a doctor, Lu Zhe said. That's always been my dream. It's not surprising, Huamin replied as he looked out the window. If Qin Shu didn't come back to find you, would you have married your university boyfriend? Lu Zhe asked. You seem to know a lot about me. Huamin looked at Lu Zhe cautiously. If I told you that I've always been interested in you, would you believe me? Lu Zhe's eyes were looking straight ahead. His hands on the steering wheel were white and slender. Lu Zhe didn't have Qin Shu's indifference and arrogance, nor did he have Su Yu's domineering shyness. He was more like a gentle and refined prince, gentle with a hint of elegance, easygoing with a hint of gentlemanly. After Huamin heard this, he only smiled faintly. What are you smiling about? You don't believe me? Lu Zhe tilted his head and looked at her. No, I just wanted to say that if it wasn't for this class reunion, and if it wasn't for the class monitor reminding me so many times, I really wouldn't remember who you are. After Huamin finished speaking, Lu Zhe's expression changed. Chapter 2472. Sometimes the way you talk is really... Lu Zhe smiled awkwardly. You don't give people face, right? Or are you trying to act cool? Huamin finished for him. Not really, but Han Su is right. Your style is still the same as before. You're always so direct, Lu Zhe commented with a smile. I'm a simple person. It's either black or white. That way, life isn't so tiring. Yes, you're right. That way, life is indeed more carefree, Lu Zhe agreed. Huamin only smiled and didn't say anything else. Huamin, are you and Qin Shu happy? He suddenly asked. Of course. Then, you must love him a lot, right? Of course, Huamin answered firmly. I'm so envious of Qin Shu. He has a wife who's so devoted to him, haha. You're wrong. I think more women envy me for having a husband who loves me more than his own life. Just then, the car slowly drove into the South Side parking lot. Huamin looked at his watch. I'm running out of time. I have to go upstairs for a meeting. Thank you for giving me a ride. After speaking, Huamin hurriedly got out of the car and ran into the hospital lobby. Lu Zhe looked at the back of the car thoughtfully. His eyes became deep in thought. After the meeting, Huamin was about to return to his office when a nurse from the obstetrics and gynecology department rushed over. Vice Director, we have an emergency in the obstetrics and gynecology department. Director Zhao asked me to come find you. The nurse was out of breath from running. Speak slowly. What's going on? We had a patient come in last night. She saw red and wanted to deliver naturally. But it's been almost 10 hours since last night, and her cervix still hasn't opened. Just keep waiting. These are all normal occurrences. No, she's in so much pain that she's about to collapse. Director Zhao just checked her and found that the position of the child has changed. Now, every time the mother exerts force, the fetus will run to the left and won't go down at all. Director Zhao said that the position is wrong and it's a difficult labor. He's afraid that the mother is in danger. Then what are we waiting for? Hurry up and perform the cesarean section. Huamin made a prompt decision. Chief Zhao said the same thing, but the pregnant woman's husband, mother-in-law, and eldest sister-in-law didn't agree to the surgery at all. They refused to sign the papers and scolded Chief Zhao for being an unscrupulous doctor who wanted to cheat them of their money. That's why they allowed this surgery. Ridiculous. How could there be such an ignorant family member? Huamin's face darkened. Yes, the situation is very urgent now. Seeing that the mother can't hold on any longer, we're all worried about the safety of the mother and the child, but her family is still determined to let her have a natural birth. We are in a stalemate, and we really don't know what to do. Director Zhao asked me to come to you and ask you to think of a way. In this situation, should our hospital intervene or not? I'll go take a look. Huamin's face was cold as he handed the documents in his hand to Chen Jie. Then, he hurried to the gynecology and obstetrics department with a nurse. This kind of situation was rare. After all, everyone had to pay attention to the safety of the mother and child. Not many people were so ignorant. However, there were all kinds of fish in the sea. Today, they might have encountered a weirdo. Chief Zhao was only a gynecologist, so she didn't dare to make such a decision. If she insisted on performing a cesarean section and the family members caused a scene, there would be a lot of trouble in the future. Paying a monetary penalty was the least of it. If she didn't handle it well, there would be complaints and her career would be over. If she didn't do anything and let the family members cause a scene, the mother and child's lives were in danger and the family members wouldn't let it go. At the end of the day, no matter what she did, it seemed wrong. No one dared to take on such a hot potato. President Wu was out of town for a meeting, so she could only ask Huamin to solve this problem. When Huamin arrived, he directly pushed through the crowd and walked up to the bed to see the mother. "Hey, who are you? Why did you come in?" The mother's unruly mother-in-law looked at Huamin impolitely. Chapter 2473. This is Deputy Director Hua. He's also a very authoritative doctor, the nurse introduced. The old lady's expression softened a little when she heard that Huamian was the deputy director. "Since he's the deputy director, hurry up and arrange for my daughter-in-law to enter the delivery room. Give birth to my grandson as soon as possible," the old lady ordered. Huamin ignored the old lady. He walked directly to the bed and glanced at the pregnant woman. The woman's face was pale, and she was sweating profusely. She didn't seem to be in a clear state of mind. The pain was probably too severe. Huamin reached out and touched her forehead. Fortunately, she didn't have a fever. He checked her heart rate and blood pressure and found that they were starting to rise. "Are you okay?" Huamin held the woman's hand and asked softly. The woman slowly opened her eyes and glanced at Huamin. Then, she nodded reluctantly. She seemed to be in so much pain that she couldn't speak. "You don't have to speak. Listen to me. Your situation is very dangerous. We've done a checkup on you and found that the position of the fetus has deviated. The ultrasound shows that the fetus is obviously too big. If you insist on a natural birth, your life will be in danger. Not only you, but the baby may also suffocate during the birth. So, we plan to do a C-section for you immediately. However, your family members won't sign the papers, so I'm going to ask you if you can put your fingerprint on it. If you agree, we'll do it immediately. If you insist on a natural birth, you'll have to bear the consequences later. It'll be too late for regrets. I'll give you a minute to think about it. If you agree, nod your head." Before the woman could say anything, her mother-in-law exploded. "What do you want to do? We've already said that we don't want surgery. You deceptive doctors and black-hearted hospitals just want to cheat us of our money. We all know that. A natural birth only costs a few thousand, but a C-section can easily cost tens of thousands. You've scammed us all. You unscrupulous doctors, don't touch my daughter-in-law. We want a natural birth. In her current situation, it's not a natural birth. Her life will be in danger," Huamin explained. "Stop trying to scare us. I'll just say that your skills are not up to par. If you don't dare to do it, we'll immediately transfer to another hospital. We'll go to the first hospital to do it. You doctors, your medical skills are not up to par, and you still want to trick us. You're really wicked. Based on the current situation, both adults and children will be in danger if they're transferred to another hospital, Huang Min continued. I don't believe your nonsense. Son, go call a taxi. Let's go. The old lady was very angry. She turned her head and looked at her son who was standing behind her. The man was about 1.8 meters tall, but he looked like a yes man. He didn't have any ideas and listened to his mother. He looked like a typical mommy's boy. Huang Min ignored them and approached the woman again. Had he thought it through? You have to make a choice for the safety of you and your baby. Otherwise, your mother-in-law will transfer you to another hospital. If something happens to you along the way, even the gods won't be able to save you. Don't let your ignorance waste an innocent life. Perhaps Huang Min's words made the pregnant woman waver. In the end, she nodded. Do you agree to the surgery? Huang Min asked. The woman nodded again. Xiaolin, go get the surgery risk report. I'll ask the woman to sign it herself. Okay, Deputy Director. How dare you? If you do the surgery for us, I'll sue your hospital until you go bankrupt. I'm telling you. The ignorant old lady blocked the young nurse from getting the risk report. Xiaolong, go and inform Chief Zhao and the others to prepare for the surgery. I'll send the woman to the operating room now. Okay, Deputy Director. Why are you still standing there? Come and stop this woman. The old lady was also anxious. She yelled at her son behind her. The man seemed to have just woken up from a dream. He walked over and stopped Huang Min, not letting her move. If you do this, your wife and child will die. Do you know that? Huang Min questioned coldly. Chapter 2474. The man hesitated for a moment. Son, don't listen to this woman's nonsense. A C-section isn't good for my grandson. I gave birth to you before the C-section was done, and I was still healthy. Hospitals nowadays are really killing people. The old lady continued to nag. Huang Min couldn't take it anymore. He pushed the man away and dragged the woman out of the room. What are you doing? Are you crazy? The old lady panicked when she saw Huang Min's stubbornness. What are you looking at? Hit her. The old lady urged her son to hit Huang Min. The man's eyes met with Huang Min's, and he immediately softened. If you dare to touch me, I promise you'll regret it for the rest of your life, Huang Min said sternly. I feel sorry for your wife. She entrusted her happiness to a coward like you. Get out of the way. Don't stop me from saving people. Huang Min pushed the man away forcefully. Then, she and the nurse on standby pushed the mother's bed out of the room. Everything was done so quickly and cleanly. All the onlooking medical staff couldn't help but praise Huang Min in their hearts. Hurry up and stop her. Are you crazy? The old lady began to beat her son and complained. Mom, forget it. I think, if Liping doesn't have surgery soon, she'll be in danger, the man finally said. You believe these bullshit doctors? The old lady roared. If you don't believe them, don't stay in the hospital when you're sick. You're so good. You should go home and recover. One of the doctors couldn't take it anymore and said to the old lady, Hey, how can you say that? What kind of person are you? The old lady seemed to be biting everyone she saw. No one was around to watch. I'm telling you, when that deputy director comes out, I'll sue her. I'll complain to her as much as I can, the old lady said angrily. Then hurry up and go. We'll see how our deputy director's husband kills you. A few nurses snickered and ran over. Vice director, just now, you were really domineering, a young nurse said excitedly. That's right. I didn't expect Department Director Hua, who usually looks so gentle, to be so powerful. It really made the mother and son blush with shame. This woman is lucky. Otherwise, if we didn't dare to do the surgery, we might have really killed both her and her son. I heard that when Department Director Hua was an intern nurse at the first hospital, she performed surgery on a pregnant woman without permission. At that time, she was even accused by the woman's family. I really didn't expect such a shameless person to repay kindness with ingratitude. But then again, the deputy director is really awesome. No wonder President Wu trusts her so much. She's really powerful. Yeah, that's why she is such a good husband. If I were a man, I would love a woman like her to death. Although she doesn't have the looks to cause the downfall of a country, she is really charming. Yeah, a few young nurses talked as they walked. When Liu Zhe came out of the cardiac surgery department, he heard the whole hospital talking about it. What's wrong? What kind of earth-shattering thing has our vice dean done this time? Liu Zhe asked his assistant with a smile. Chapter 2475. Dr. Liu, you didn't see that wonderful scene just now? Our deputy director is so awesome. He single-handedly fought against an unreasonable and stupid mother and son and saved the life of a pregnant woman. Oh no, although the pregnant woman doesn't know the situation now, our team is confident in Deputy Director Hua's medical skills. We believe that the mother and child will be safe and sound. The assistant excitedly explained the situation to Liu Zhe. He immediately felt deep respect for Huamin. No wonder this woman was a legend at Southside. It seemed that she was indeed extraordinary. Excuse me, is Dr. Huamin here? Suyu walked in wearing a white Versace suit with one hand in his pocket and asked at the door. Young Master Su, please wait a moment. I'll ask. The nurse in the lobby was so excited that her heart almost jumped out of her chest when she saw Suyu. Suyu had been hospitalized at Southside before and would occasionally visit Huamin, so all the nurses at Southside knew him. Especially his limited edition Lamborghini Sixth Element. It was so cool that no one had friends. After making a phone call, the nurse blushed and said, Vice Director Hua is having surgery in the OB-GYN department. She'll be out soon. Young Master Su, can you wait for a moment? Okay, I'll wait for her in the office. Then, Suyu walked directly to Hua Min's office. Vice Director Hua is so lucky. She's good friends with young Master Su. The nurse looked at Su Yu with infatuation. Outside the OB-GYN department, Dr. Hua, how's the mother? The nurses were very concerned about the mother's health. She's fine now. Thank goodness we saved her in time. Huamin took off her mask and let out a long sigh of relief. Where's my grandson? Is he okay? The old lady suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Huamin glanced at her and said coldly, Your daughter-in-law gave birth to a little princess. What? The old lady immediately raised her voice. It's a girl? The man was obviously surprised. It's a baby girl, 8 kilograms. She's white and fat. With this weight, it's impossible for your wife to give birth naturally. Fortunately, the surgery was done. After Huamin finished speaking, he walked tiredly to his office. The old lady and the man obviously didn't believe it. They wanted to rush in, but they were stopped. Family members, please wait for a moment. The mother will be out soon. We want to see the child. The old lady was very excited. The child will be out soon. Wait patiently. Huamin laughed in relief. To be honest, he knew that the old lady favored boys over girls and kept calling him her grandson. So when Huamin told her that it was a baby girl, he felt really good when he saw the stunned expression on her face. It was fine not to stay in such a family, but what was wrong with giving birth to a daughter? Were girls not good enough? If everyone gave birth to a boy, where would they find a wife? Was the whole world going to be gay? Thinking of this crazy idea, Huamin couldn't help but laugh. But she laughed out loud. What's so funny? Liu Zhe popped out of nowhere, scaring Huamin. You drink something? I just heard about your heroic deeds. Dr. Hua, you're really amazing. Liu Zhe handed over a bottle of Red Bull to Huamin to replenish his energy. But surprisingly, she didn't take it. She wouldn't easily drink a drink from a stranger, especially Liu Zhe, whom she suspected. Thank you, but it's not that I don't like drinks. Plain water suits me better. Just as Liu Zhe was about to say something, he saw Suyu walking over from afar. Liu Zhe stopped immediately and stopped following Huamin. Mian, you're done with the surgery? Suyu smiled gently. Lord Su, why are you so free today? Seeing Suyu, Huamin was a little surprised. Chapter 2476. I'm not busy today, so I came to see you. Do you have time for lunch? Suyu smiled. Right now, I have to see patients in the afternoon. How about we go to the cafeteria for lunch? Do you mind? Huamin smiled. I don't mind. It's your treat. Mr. Rich God, don't cheat me. I'm from a small family. I can't compare to a prince like you who spends money like water. Okay, stop teasing me. Let's go. Okay. Huamin and Siyu talked and laughed as they walked towards the hospital cafeteria. Huamian ignored Lu Zhe's presence and didn't even spare him a glance. Lu Zhe stared at Huamin and Suyu's backs with a complicated expression. Hey, Dr. Lu, you didn't go for lunch? Chen Jie came out of Huamin's office and saw Lu Zhe standing not far from the door. I want to go with Dr. Hua, but her friend came. Yeah, Mr. Su is a good friend of our director, Chen Jie said proudly. Really? Have they known each other for a long time? Lu Zhe asked tentatively. Yeah, a few years. So you seems to be good to Dr. Hua. Lu Zhe said meaningfully. They're good friends. Of course they're good friends. Mr. Su is good to all his friends, and he's also good friend with our director's husband, President Qin. Chen Jie explained to prevent gossip from spreading. Okay, I understand. Haha, Dr. Hua is a legendary woman. Lu Zhe smiled and walked away. Chen Jie tilted her head and curiously asked the other nurses to walk forward. Xiao Jie, did you notice? Why do I feel that this new Dr. Lu seems to be very interested in our director? Don't talk nonsense. The chief has a husband and a child. She doesn't like gossip. Chen Jie was a little annoyed. Oh, I'm not trying to smear the director's reputation. What I mean is, could it be that our director is too outstanding? So this new Dr. Lu admires her too. I heard that Dr. Lu's family is also very rich, and the car he drives is a limited edition Ferrari. He's a standard tall, rich, and handsome man. If only he likes me. The young nurse was infatuated. In the corner of the cafeteria, Huamin helped Suyu get a big bowl of rice. I got you some eggplant with garlic sauce, sweet and sour fish, and stir-fried broccoli. Is that okay? Sure, I'm not picky. Suyu smiled. It seemed like it had been a long time since the two of them ate face to face like this. Suyu had been deliberately keeping a distance from Huamin. He was afraid that others would gossip and Qin Shu would misunderstand. Are you here to hang out, or are you here to see me? Huamian asked casually. I miss you, so I'm here to see you. Can I? Suyu said directly. Huamin was speechless, and his expression became very unnatural. Seeing this, Suyu explained, Hey, I'm just kidding. Don't take it seriously. I'm so busy all day. How can I have time to miss you? Do you really think you're a fairy? When I have time, I go out and pick up girls. What's wrong? Is there a new situation? Huamin smiled. My old man always tries to introduce me, but none of those crooked melons and dates are good enough for me. Then what kind of girl are you looking for? Huamin asked as he ate. No matter what, I have to find a girl like Anne Hathaway. So you said the name of a Hollywood superstar. Huamin almost burst out laughing. What are you laughing at? So you scratched his head and looked very cute. Chapter 2477. Anne Hathaway? Excuse me, is she the actress who played the White Queen in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Yeah, isn't she pretty? Your taste isn't good. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. Forget it, it's not the same as a country girl's taste. Suyu waved her hand and deliberately teased Huamin. Okay, it's my honor to have lunch with you, Lord Su. Ha! Come, have some more braised pork. Huamin picked out the braised pork from his plate and put on Suyu's plate. Huamin didn't like fatty meat, so she usually put it in Qin Shu's bowl. So it had become a habit. She didn't think much of it, but Suyu's heart was full of happiness. Looking at the braised pork that she picked up, for a moment, Suyu couldn't bear to eat it. Why are you in a daze? You don't like fatty meat either? No, I like it. Suyu lowered her head and ate the piece of meat in one big bite. I'm so tired today. It's been a long time since such an urgent situation. Focusing on the surgery is more tiring than working overtime for a week, Huamin complained. What are so many doctors in your hospital doing? You're already the deputy director. Why do you still have to do this? I don't understand. Suyu complained because she felt sorry for Huamin's work intensity. It's not like that. Today's situation was a little special. The other doctors didn't dare to take responsibility. Then, Huamin briefly told Suyu what happened. Suyu widened her eyes and looked at Huamin. What? What's with that look? You did something that no one else did. Are you a tiger? Suyu glared at her. Ha ha ha. Suyu's words made Huamin burst out laughing. You're still laughing? You should be more careful. Suyu was speechless. As the deputy director, I have to do my best to save the patient's life. This is my responsibility. I can't say that I'm a doctor to save the dying and heal the injured. In fact, I'm not that great of a person, but I absolutely can't watch the patient die in front of me. I won't allow such a thing to happen. As for other things, I really don't think too much about it. What if her husband hits you? Silly girl. So you was still scared. What if Huamin was beaten up by such an unreasonable mother and son? After all, she was a weak woman. I'm not that weak, okay? Although I'm different from Ning Ning and the others, and I don't know Taekwondo, I still have anesthetics on me. If they push me too far, I'll give them acupuncture. Plus, this is Southside, my territory. My colleagues won't let me suffer, so don't make a fuss. Damn it. I really think you're risking your life by doing this job. So you was unhappy. Okay, let's not talk about this. Do you want some soup? I'll go get you a bowl. No, I'm full. Oh, right. I came here today to give you something. Where is it? It's in your office. What is it? Huamin froze. Grandpa brought it back from Jing City. He said it's the most advanced remote-controlled robot. It can sing, dance, chat, play games, and even fight. It's so fun. I heard it's a technology company that hasn't started selling it yet. When Grandpa went abroad for a visit, they gave it to him. Grandpa was even funnier. He thought it was interesting and asked me to give it to the twins. Lord Su is so nice. Thank him for me. He likes the twins. You're welcome. Suyu, I actually want to tell you something, and can you not be angry when you hear it? Huamin stammered. Tell me first. I'll decide if I'm angry or not. Suyu smiled. Chapter 2478. Now that you mention it, I don't dare to say anything. Huamin looked at Suyu, who was smiling so innocently, and suddenly didn't dare to say anything. Oh, just say it. I won't get mad at you. In fact, Suyu was thinking, when did I ever get mad at you? Really? I'm not well educated. Don't lie to me. Huamin didn't seem to believe him. Really? Say it. Hurry up. Suyu's impatience rose, and he began to urge him. Here's the thing. At Southside, there are actually a lot of good single girls. There are straight-A students with high academic qualifications, beautiful goddesses, extremely intelligent Lolas, and those with good family backgrounds. I did a comparison. There's an outstanding female anesthesiologist in the anesthesiology department. She's new here not long ago. Apparently, her family background is good and she's very hardworking. Most importantly, she has the face of a celebrity, very much like that celebrity Liu Yifei. She's very beautiful, pure, and otherworldly. A lot of male doctors in the hospital are chasing after her, but she rejected them all. I guess she's a girl with character. So, I want to ask you, do you want to get to know her? Huamin worriedly finished the story, and Suyu immediately understood. Huamin was going to introduce him to a girl. This day finally came. Hearing this, Suyu didn't say anything. He lowered his head and ate slowly. Huamin became even more nervous. When he saw Suyu, he suddenly remembered what Little Bean said before. She thought that if it was for Suyu's good, he shouldn't keep him single. If there were any good girls, he should introduce them to him. But with Suyu's temper, he wouldn't hesitate. She was afraid that he would get mad at her, so she stuttered and told him her purpose. You're not mad, are you? Huamin asked anxiously. Suyu picked up a tissue and elegantly wiped his mouth. Then, he looked up at Huamin. Mad? Why should I be angry? Do you think I'm so petty? No, that's not it. I'm just afraid that you'll think too much and think that What do you think of me? Continue. Suyu looked at Huamin. Huamin felt even more awkward. I was afraid that you would think that I was meddling in other people's business. Meddling? How could that be? You didn't. You're doing this for my sake. You took the initiative to introduce girls to me. Isn't that great? For some reason, Huamin felt an inexplicable sadness in his heart when he heard Suyu's words. Suyu, But Mion, are you sure such a nice girl isn't gay? Suyu suddenly asked. Huamin didn't know what to say. Why are you so serious? I was just joking. Suyu laughed. I'm really doing this for your own good. Huamin anxiously tried to explain. I know, Mom. You don't have to explain. I've known you for a long time and know you very well. I know that you wouldn't do anything to hurt me, Suyu said with a serious expression. Huamin immediately nodded. Yes, I'm glad that you think so. Nie Lingxian came to you before, right? Suyu asked. You mean Cece's sister? She is actually quite nice. At least, I don't think she's the same type of person as Zhao Qingya, Jiantong, or Mo. Sure. Huamin commented objectively. Even so, I still don't like her. I know. That's why I wanted to ask you if you want to meet the girls in our hospital. Huamin said word by word. Mion, if I say yes, will you be happy? Suyu asked her affectionately. Chapter 2479. Huamin didn't know what to say. You don't have to say anything else. Just tell me if you're happy or not, Suyu asked. Of course I'm happy for you. I feel the same way as Lord Su, Pudding, Mr. Su, and Mrs. Su. You can't be alone forever, Huamin said slowly. If you're happy then, I promise you. Huamin was surprised to see Suyu being so agreeable. I promise you. You can arrange a time to meet and let me know. Thank you for lunch, Mion. Rest well, and take care of yourself. Then, Suyu got up and left. After he left, Huamin came back to her senses. She suddenly felt that Suyu was a little sad today. Wasn't it too cruel for him to do this? Huamin thought to herself. After a busy afternoon, it was time to get off work. Huamin's car was sent for maintenance, so she didn't have a car to drive. Dr. Hua, let me drive you. I know you live in South Hill Manor. Although it's not on my way, I can drive you to Wanshi Road. You can take the subway yourself. It'll be more convenient. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in traffic during rush hour. Lu Zhe parked his flashy purple Ferrari in front of Huamin, attracting a lot of attention. It's okay. Thank you, Dr. Lu. I've already called my husband. He'll come pick me up. If that's the case, all right then. Then Lu Zhe drove away. Only then did Huamian slowly take out her phone. In fact, she had lied just now. She hadn't called Mr. Qin. She took out her phone and called Qin Chu's phone, but it was turned off. She guessed it was out of battery. Then, she called the company's landline. A young lady, Assistant Yang, picked up the phone. Where's my husband? Chairman Qin is working overtime in a meeting. There's a problem with the project, so the partner sent someone to discuss with Chairman Qin how to solve it. What happened? Is it serious? Huamin's heart was in his throat again. It's not serious. It's just a problem with the ratio. There was a slight mistake, but Boss Qin wants it to be perfect, so he pointed it out very seriously. That's good. A young lady, what's the matter? President Qin's phone is charging. Do you want to take it to him? That won't be necessary. I don't have anything to do. Let him be. Don't disturb him. Okay, a young lady. After hanging up the phone, Huamin touched the tip of his nose. It seemed that he really had to take a taxi home today. With this thought in mind, he casually flagged down 1 or 2 taxis. Then, just as Lu Zhe said, it was really congested. Everywhere was congested, probably because of the weather. Once it snowed in the north, traffic would be paralyzed immediately because the roads were too slippery. Sea City had about 5 months of winter in a year, so the cycle of snow was relatively long. Miss, it's too congested here. Can I take a detour for you? It's probably only a few dozen yuan, and you don't look like someone who needs money. If you agree, I'll take you through some alleys. If you don't agree, we'll wait here. Don't worry. The taxi driver was an impatient person. Even in a traffic jam, he was sweating profusely. Sure, you could take a detour. Huamin was also in a hurry to go home. Who would want to wait here in snowy weather? Therefore, he and the driver took a detour through a few alleys and took another road. But to his surprise, when he passed by a secluded path, Huamin saw someone familiar. Driver, can you stop here for a second? Huamin said. Chapter 2480. The taxi driver stepped on the brakes and stopped by the side of the road. Huamin took out 100 yuan and tossed it to the driver. He didn't even give the driver the change before he hurriedly got out of the car. In the snow, Huamin stood in front of a rundown car repair shop. He looked at the familiar man who was repairing someone's car. "Hurry up, mister. I'm in a hurry." "Okay, I'll be right there." Huamin stood there. If he didn't see it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed that he would one day end up like this. Huamin bit his lips and forced himself to speak. "Wei Dong." "Huh?" Wei Dong heard someone call his name and subconsciously stood up. The moment he saw Huamin, his expression changed. Then he smiled awkwardly. "Huamin, why are you here?" "I was passing by and saw you, so I came down to take a look." "Ah, it's cold outside. Don't just stand there. Come in and talk." Wei Dong was quite enthusiastic. He invited Huamin in. Actually, the inside of this rundown car repair shop wasn't much warmer than the outside. Seeing Wei Dong like this, Huamin couldn't help but feel a little sad. Although he had heard about Wei Dong's tragic ending during the class reunion, he didn't expect to see it with his own eyes. He still felt sad. "Wait for me. I'll finish fixing this." "Huh?" Huamin nodded. Then he held the Chanel bag and stood to the side, quietly waiting for him. About 10 minutes later, Wei Dong finished fixing the car. After he received the money, he sent the car owner away. Then, he rushed in the bathroom to wash his hands before coming out. He was wearing old blue work clothes. Compared to his old self who wore branded clothes, it was like heaven and earth. It was also the biggest irony. "I didn't expect you to find me here, huh?" Wei Dong joked. "Wei Dong, aren't you selling cars at a 4S shop? How could it be?" Huamin was a little embarrassed to be too direct. "Ah, I did sell cars, but the economy is in a slump recently, and the price ratio is low. Our sales aren't good either, and the money I make isn't enough to sustain my life. After my father and uncle got into trouble, all of my family's assets were taken back. My mother suffered a huge blow and fell ill. Now, she needs a lot of medical fees every day. I can only get 5 or 6,000 yuan a month from selling cars. We still have to rent a place to eat, and it's not enough. So, I rented this place and come here after work to repair cars." Wei Dong's words were very sincere, and the look in his eyes was also incomparably sincere. There was no longer the arrogance from before. "Did you just get off work?" Wei Dong looked at Huamin. Huamin nodded. "Yeah, there was a traffic jam, so the taxi driver took a shortcut. That's how I saw you. Then are you in a hurry? If you're not, I'll treat you to a meal. It's rare for old classmates to meet," Wei Dong offered. "Sure." When Wei Dong was rich, he didn't even have the chance to eat with Huamin alone. Now that he was in dire straits, he casually offered. He didn't expect Huamin to agree. This surprised him. "What do you want to eat?" Wei Dong asked. Huamin glanced at the snack bar across the street and finally said, "Let's have some noodles. I haven't eaten that in a long time." "Okay, that place is pretty good." Just like that, Wei Dong took Huamin to a very small noodle shop across the street. The two ordered 2 bowls of noodles and a few side dishes. Wei Dong looked at Huamin with a myriad of emotions in his heart. Today, Huamin's net worth was probably over 10 billion yuan. He was a big shot in the upper class. As the vice director of Southside, a top hospital, and the CEO of a large corporation, his good friends were all either rich or powerful. Even someone like Su Yu, who was unapproachable by others, was a very good friend of Huamin's. Wei Dong felt that this kind of Huamin, even sitting in front of him, was so far away that he couldn't reach him. "I heard that you went to a class reunion a while ago. How was it? Was it lively?" Wei Dong took the initiative to pour a cup of hot tea for Huamin and then casually asked. Chapter 2481. "Yes, I did. But it was boring, so I won't go again," Huamin said faintly with her head lowered. "Oh, really? Everyone must be talking about me. After all, I'm in this state now. It's my own doing." Wei Dong could roughly imagine how his so-called classmates talked about him. How tiring would it be to live in the mouths of others? "Don't worry too much about it," Huamin comforted him. At this time, the boss served 2 bowls of piping hot noodles. On a snowy day like this, the noodles looked especially appetizing. Huamin did not have any burden of being a goddess, so when she ate, she never hesitated. Instead, she picked up her chopsticks. She lowered her head and took big bites of the noodles. It was as if watching her eat was delicious. Wei Dong was first stunned. Then he quietly watched Huamin. This was a scene he never dared to dream of. What are you looking at? Hurry up and eat. It's going to get cold soon, Huamin reminded him. Yes. The two did not speak for a few minutes. They only cared about eating. Wei Dong's table manners were especially comical. He even drank the soup one mouthful at a time. It was a very down-to-earth scene. Right now. Is your mother doing well? What's her illness? Is it serious? She's okay, but it's not very optimistic. She was hospitalized at the first hospital and had surgery. She still needs to take care of her body. Most importantly, it's heart failure. Oh, I see. Don't be too sad. Take good care of her. Everything will be fine. Yeah, I'm fine. It's not like it's just a day or two ago. I wasn't used to it at first, but now I've accepted it. Haha. Isn't there a poisonous chicken soup joke that's trending on the internet recently? It says that when God closes a door on you, don't despair because he might let another dog in. Wei Dong laughed. Huamin also laughed. Yes, there's also a joke that says, if you're not happy today, don't be sad, don't be depressed. Cheer up, because you'll realize that tomorrow might not be as good as today. Wei Dong chuckled when he heard that. I didn't expect you to have such a funny side. Wei Dong was already like this, so there was no need for him to pretend. Even his smile was much more sincere than before. I've always been a joker. You didn't know before because you didn't understand me. Huamin laughed. Yeah, the one who knows you the best is Qin Chu. He's really lucky to have you. Luckily, he told me to back off. Haha, otherwise, I would have thought that I was really something and wanted to marry you. Haha, I'm really a toad that wants to eat swan meat. I'm not a swan. At most, I'm an ugly duckling, Huamin mocked himself. The ugly duckling turned into a white swan in the end. What a perfect example of a comeback. Wei Dong teased. No, the ugly duckling turned into a white swan because its parents were originally swans. It has good genes, and it has nothing to do with turning the tides. Haha, fine. You're trying to feed me poisonous chicken soup again, right? Sometimes life is like this. What you need isn't necessarily chicken soup. Maybe you just need a slap. So, Wei Dong, look on the bright side. There are bound to be ups and downs in life, but life goes on. Life is full of ups and downs. Yes, I've thought it through. Your fiancée, that's normal. She was with me because of money. It's expected that she would leave when I went bankrupt. I don't blame her. Wei Dong smiled like a man. What are your plans in the future? Huamin looked at Wei Dong seriously and asked. Chapter 2482. In the future, to be honest, I didn't think too much about it. In my current state, there's no point in thinking about it. Wei Dong laughed self-deprecatingly. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. He looked down at his watch and saw that it was almost time. There's probably no traffic now. I'm going to go now. Okay. Wei Dong nodded. Seeing Huamin stand up, Wei Dong suddenly remembered something and said, By the way, Huamin, I know. I won't tell my classmates that you're opening a car repair shop here. Huamin thought that Wei Dong was afraid that his address would be leaked. No, I heard from Han, Su, that Lu Zhe came back from the class reunion. Wei Dong asked. Yes, be careful of that guy. He's not as simple as he looks. I know. Thank you. Regardless, he still thanked Wei Dong for the reminder. Not long after Huamin left, a female bank employee came over. Hello, are you Mr. Wei Dong? I am. And you are? Wei Dong looked at the strangers in front of him in confusion. I'm Miss Huamian's personal wealth manager at the bank. Miss Hua asked me to help you with some financial matters. Financial matters? Wei Dong was even more confused. Let me put it simply. Miss Hua is willing to lend you 5 million yuan from her personal account. She also told me that she won't charge you any interest. She doesn't want you to feel pressured when you start a business. You just have to pay back the principal when you make money. After hearing this, Wei Dong was greatly shocked. Huamin, Miss Hua doesn't think it's appropriate to tell you this in person. She's afraid that you'll overthink, so she sent me here. Mr. Wei, do you have her bank account? After you sign this document, I'll immediately transfer the money to you via mobile banking. You'll be able to use the funds. How much did you say? 5 million? Wei Dong asked, dumbfounded. Yes, Mr. Wei. You're so lucky to be Miss Wa's friend. Miss Wa has always kept a low profile and rarely flaunts her wealth. However, since she's willing to help you, it proves that you're worthy of her help. It's getting late. Let's get started. Just like that, Wei Dong, who was still in a daze, received the 5 million yuan that Huamin lent him. Perhaps in the past, Wei Dong would not have cared about 5 million yuan. At that time, he was doing very well. But now, not to mention 5 million, even 50,000 yuan was not a small sum to him. Therefore, when Wei Dong received this sum of money, he only felt that it was heavy back then. He wanted to take advantage of Huamin's relationship with Qin Shu and Hua Xiqian to borrow a huge sum of money. He also wanted to take care of some personal matters, but Huamin rejected him. Later on, when he was drunk, he even complained in the group chat that Huamin was rich now and dogs loved and cared for him. In the end, he was scolded by Zhu Lingling. Later on, his family went bankrupt, and he saw through the fickleness of human nature. He returned to his primitive state and started from the bottom of society. Only then did he realize who his friends were. The truth was, after Wei Dong's accident, he did not have a single trustworthy friend by his side. None of his classmates, including Han Su, lent him a single cent. As the saying goes, a single cent stumps a hero. However, under these circumstances, he still did not want to borrow money from Huamin because he knew that he would be rejected. However, today, when he sincerely treated Huamin to a bowl of knife-shaved noodles, she actually lent him 5 million yuan without any interest. Huamin's actions shocked Wei Dong once again. She was never one to add flowers to a brocade, but she was willing to help Wei Dong in his hour of need. When Wei Dong was in poverty, she gave him a helping hand. Huamin's actions were admirable. After Huamin returned home for dinner, he was about to go downstairs to play with his daughters when he received a call from Wei Dong. Huamin, he said solemnly. Chapter 2483. Huamin, I got the money. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. I'm not giving it to you for free. I'm lending it to you. You have to pay me back. If Wei Dong really didn't want to take it, he had to keep his dignity as a man. I know. Anyway, thank you. I'll do my best to pay you back. Okay. After hanging up, Huamin and the twins were eating fruit in the living room. Mama Qin and Mr. Qin were drinking tea with their old friends. Mr. Qin was working overtime and hadn't come home yet. The twins were playing with a high-tech robot that Suyu sent to Southside today. Even Pudding, who was young and mature, found this thing very novel. She kept studying the buttons and functions on the remote control. Great-grandpa is so nice. He's thinking of us. Haha. Little Bean was overjoyed. Of course. Mommy said that when we were just a few months old, Great-grandpa fought with Lord Su to hold us. He's such a cute old man. But sis, have you noticed that handsome Su has fallen out of favor ever since we came to this world? Little Bean looked at her sister. Yeah, handsome Su is an adult. He won't care about these small details. All right, if handsome Su wanted to get us toys, could he have sent them to our house? Why did he send them to Southside for Mommy? Little Bean suddenly started gossiping. Don't blame him. It's hard for him to find an excuse to see Mommy. Pudding looked like she understood. Huamian coughed violently. Ahem, don't talk nonsense. Your Uncle Su came to Southside to do a physical examination and give me the stuff? Hey, we're just joking. Mommy, don't take it so seriously. Little Bean looked at her mother's embarrassed face and smiled mischievously. To be honest, Mommy, if Daddy didn't come back, would you really be able to stay chaste and reject Suyu's love? Little Bean continued to tease her mother. Little Bean, when your daddy comes back, you can ask him the same question again. Huamin smiled. No, Daddy will get mad. Little Bean immediately shut up when she heard Huamian mention her father. The two brats were really troublesome. In fact, Suyu had sent the things to Southside and even had a meal with her. She didn't think it was necessary to go through so much trouble. She could directly bring the children to the Su family's villa or South Hill Manor. However, Suyu didn't do that. He wanted to hide his little secret, but it would still be seen by everyone. Huamin sometimes felt that Suyu was a smart person, but sometimes he was so silly that he was cute. At this moment, Qin Chu opened the door and returned. "Hubby, have you come back from a construction site?" Huamin asked. "Yes." "Have you eaten?" "Yes, I ate with a client." Huamin stood up. "You've worked hard. Shall I make you a cup of coffee?" "There's no need." "Honey, take a seat. I'll go to the study. There's still some drawings that I haven't finished editing. I'll go take a look." Mr. Qin took the folder and went upstairs. "Mommy, what's wrong with you and Daddy recently? Did you guys fight?" Pudding turned around and asked carefully. "No." "Then why do you guys look like you were in a Cold War?" Pudding didn't believe it. "Cold War? You're thinking too much. Maybe we've been too busy recently and haven't had time to talk about love." Huamin sighed slightly. "Mommy, you can't let your guard down. You have to hold on to Daddy tightly. Otherwise, another woman might take advantage of the situation." Pudding instilled a sense of crisis into her mommy. "Okay, my little princess, you two go have fun. Children shouldn't get involved in adult matters." Just then, Huamin received a WeChat voice message. It was from Cece. "Mian, are you free? I want to talk to you." Cece's voice sounded like she was about to cry. Huamin's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. Chapter 2484. "Tell me, Cece. I think it was a mistake for me to come to the States." Cece's voice was choked with sobs. "Calm down, Cece. Tell me slowly. What happened?" Cece's stay in New Orleans had always been a worry for Huamin. He had seen Luna before, so he was worried that Cece would be in trouble if she went there. Plus, after Rick took over the family business, he had a lot of things to deal with. He didn't have much time to spend with her. Dreams were full, but reality was harsh. Before Cece went there, she thought everything was perfect. But after she went there, she realized that things weren't as easy as she thought. "Mian, I'm in a bad situation right now." "Cece, what's wrong? Did you have a fight with Rick?" Huamin thought that although Rick didn't talk much, it was impossible for him to have a change of heart or abandon her. Unless they didn't communicate well, it was normal for them to have some conflicts and arguments. "No, Rick is very, very good to me. He's very, very good to me." Cece corrected him. "Then why are you so depressed?" Huamin held his phone and quietly sent a WeChat message to Cece. "I think I'm a burden to Rick." Cece's voice was full of guilt. Before Huamin could speak, Cece continued. "Mian, I used to think about Rick's mafia identity, and I didn't mind. But when I saw him kill people with my own eyes, and when I was on the run with him, I realized that this kind of life is terrifying. So, you want to back out?" Huamin asked her. "No, that's not it. I just want to take Rick and jump out of this circle. I want to leave this life of living on the edge of a knife and live a normal life." "Cece, don't be so naive. That's impossible." Cece was silent for a long time. "Mr. Qin and I have been to New Orleans before, and we've seen Rick's lifestyle. He's not someone who can give up easily. He has so many enemies and gangsters working with him. If he quits, it's hard to say whether he'll survive or not. Cece, everyone has the right to choose their own life. If you really don't like this kind of life, either you leave Rick or you have to face it with him." "Mian, am I too weak?" Cece asked in a low voice. "No. For a girl who knows nothing, what you're doing is very brave. Mian, I'm not afraid of death, but I'm afraid of Rick dying. It's a contradiction, isn't? He's so young. I don't want him to live such a life." "Cece, have you seen Luna? Is it the woman who claims to be Rick's fiancée?" Cece asked. "Yes. Not long after we came back, that woman came and tried to show off, but Rick kicked her out. Then, she went to find her father, who wanted to kill me. When Rick found out, he was furious and turned against him. They fought, and not only did they end up cooperating with him, but Luna's father was also injured. Now, that family is Rick's enemy. That's why I said that I'm a burden to Rick. People here don't like me because they think I brought bad luck to Rick. If he was with Luna, it would be better. Not only can I help him, but I'm also causing trouble for him. So, Mian, what should I do? I'm so sad." With that, Cece began to sob again. Huamin could tell that Cece was depressed. Otherwise, she wouldn't be crying on WeChat. Chapter 2485. Cece, don't think that way about yourself. When I was with Mr. Chin, there were so many people who objected, but in the end, I insisted. Don't give up. As long as you think he's worth your love, don't give up. It's not easy to meet someone who loves you and who loves you back. Rick may not know how to express his feelings, but I can see that he cares about you. It's not easy for you two to get to where you are today. Don't give up so easily. Sister Mian, I'm not giving up. I'm not even afraid of death. How could I give up? I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that I'm really a jinx and that I'll drag Rick down with me. Don't care about other people's opinions. It'll be hard for you to live in their mouths. Listen to me and feel with your heart. Rick's family background is very complicated. He's had a lot of hatred since he was a child, and his parents didn't give him much love. After his parents passed away and his brother got into an accident, you're his only family in the world. Yes, I won't leave him. I have to be by his side, no matter how hard it is. Cece seemed to have made up her mind. You have to take care of yourself. Luna seems to be a very vengeful woman. You have to be careful. Huamin rarely misjudged people, so he always told Cece to be careful of Luna. I will. Rick has sent people to protect me. She can't do anything. That's good. Sister Mian, I feel much better after talking to you. Thank you. You're welcome. If you're unhappy in the future, feel free to talk to me. I don't want to disturb your work. Even if I'm busy, I still have time to chat with you. Huamin smiled. By the way, Sister Mian, did my sister talk to you? Cece asked hesitantly. She told you? Yeah. She called one day and mentioned it. My sister and President Sue. Forget it. I don't want to care about her. She's too stubborn. But I know President Sue won't like my sister, and he won't even like other women. She shouldn't ask for trouble. When it comes to love, no one else can do it for you. Your sister is a nice girl, but I can't set her up with me. Huamin didn't want to create more problems for Suyu. After meeting Suyu in the hospital, Huamin didn't like what Suyu had said. Therefore, he didn't plan to introduce a girlfriend to Suyu shamelessly. At the very least, she couldn't influence Suyu's life. Yeah, I know. Anyway, she's looking for you. Just don't say yes to her. She'll give up soon. My sister's personality isn't suitable for President Sue. To be honest, if it weren't for Mr. Chin, I'd think you and President Sue would be a good match. Only you can control President Sue's temper. That's not it. I just don't want to spoil him. Huamin smiled. Yes. Anyway, you're my idol forever. Okay, let's not talk about it anymore. I'm going to prepare dinner for Rick. Okay. After hanging up, Huamin let out a long sigh. Everyone had their own difficulties. It wasn't easy for Cece to leave her hometown for love. It wasn't easy for Rick to fight against so many people in his family to protect Cece. At the end of the day, everyone was doing it for love. Just then, his phone beeped. He received a text message. Huamin looked down, and his expression changed slightly. Chapter 2486. Mian, it's been too long. I've waited for you for too long. I'm running out of patience. The final game between me and Qin Shu is about to begin. I know you won't stand on my side, but I'll show you what kind of person the man you love is. Then, you'll understand that in this world, only I'll never change my feelings for you. You're crazy, Huamian said casually after she finished reading it. She didn't expect Hua Xiqian to be serious this time. In a high-end club owned by Tang Chuan's family, Su Yu and some famous directors came to entertain clients and bumped into Shun Mingxi. Other than Su Yu, Shun Mingxi didn't have a good relationship with the others. Especially after his divorce with Wei Ying, he rarely saw Wei Liao and the others and didn't have any interactions. Lord Su, Shun Mingxi said, "Hey, you're here too? Yeah, I'm with some clients next door. It's rare to see you. Do you want to have a drink with me?" Sure. Su Yu's clients had just left, and he didn't want to go home so early. Ever since Tang Chuan ran to the States, it was hard to find someone to drink with, so you didn't think much of it. Seeing that it was still early, he followed Shun Mingxi into the private room next door. This is my buddy, Suyu. Shun Mingshi introduced him as soon as they entered the room. Hearing Suyu's name, the foreign developers all stood up. Some of them were as old as Suyu's father. But when they saw Suyu, they all stood up to greet him politely because they knew the Su family was very influential in the city. The old master of the Su family was an iron-blooded general with a high position in Jing City. His only grandson was one of the most powerful people in the city. Young Master Su, I've heard so much about you. Sit down. I'm just here for a few drinks. Don't stand on ceremony. Suyu waved his hand and gestured for them to sit down. Shin Mingshi called a few innocent college girls to accompany the foreign developers. Then, the two of them sat alone on the side with red wine glasses. Lord Su, you've been keeping a low profile lately. I haven't seen you around. You don't have a nightclub, a club, or a golf course. What's up with you? I thought you were on a business trip. Nope. Recently, I've been working and going home. So monotonous? Shin Mingshi frowned, obviously not buying it. What else do you think I can do? Suyu pursed his lips. Where's Master Tang? Doesn't he like to stick to you? Don't talk about that guy who values women over friends. He took a fancy to Qin Shu's biological sister and followed her to America. He didn't even want his mother anymore. Who am I to say I am? I've heard a thing or two about Tang Chuan and the daughter of the Qin family. At first, I thought it was just a publicity stunt and the media was making groundless accusations. I didn't expect it to be true. Well, everything has its vanquisher. Qin Shu's sister has subdued him. They're of equal social status. What about you? You don't have a date? Yeah, I'm all alone. I'll get you a girl. Do you like college students, good girls, or hot Russian dolls? I don't like either. Suyu shook his head. Don't tell me you still like Huamin, Shin Mingshi suddenly said. I could do whatever I like. It's my right to be in anyone's way. Suyu said jokingly. Lord Su, I have something to say, but I don't know if I should say it. Since you said so, you must have something to say. Go ahead, let me hear it. Suyu was in a good mood, so he started talk about Huamin with Shun Mingshi. He rarely talked about Huamin with friends other than Wei Liao and Tang Chuan because he felt it was blasphemy. Chapter 2487. I think Huamin isn't as good as you think she is. Hearing Shun Mingshi's words, Suyu's face changed. Go on. He didn't refute immediately. Instead, he calmed himself down and continued to listen. I think this woman is very scheming and scheming. Think about it. She's not from a rich family, but she was able to marry Qin Shu. I have to admit that she has some skills. Plus, did you know that her mother is a mistress? Go on. Suyu lowered his head and rested his chin on his hand. She dated Qin Shu when she was still in school. When Qin Shu went abroad, she found another boyfriend. To put it bluntly, a woman like her isn't that great. I heard that she was about to marry that guy, but when Qin Shu came back, she immediately dumped that guy. I think his name was Ning Ziyuan. That wasn't all. After she married Qin Shu, she didn't let Qin Shu announce their marriage. She kept their marriage a secret and pretended that she was single. She used some unknown method to rise up the ranks in the hospital and was noticed by the director. She was promoted all the way until she volunteered to work at Southside Recuperation Center. Everyone knows that Southside Recuperation Center is a place for children of the upper echelons of society to recuperate. Everyone knows what she's up to. Then, she ran into you when you were injured and hospitalized. Then, she tried her best to make you like her, but you refused. That's why you've been secretly in love with her all these years. When Qin Shu got into an accident, she tried to get close to you, but when Qin Shu came back, she immediately kicked you away. I heard that she has an ambiguous relationship with Hua Xiqian. Even though they're not related by blood, they're still siblings in name. After all, they're both members of the Hua family. So Lord Su, the onlooker sees more clearly than the onlooker. I don't know what you like about a woman like her. Anything else? Suyu looked up at Shun Mingshi quietly and asked. Shun Mingshi was surprised by Suyu's reaction, so he paused for a moment before saying, a few days ago, Hua Xiqian kidnapped Yinyan's daughter. Hua Xiqian specifically asked to see Huamin. We want to beg her But not only did she refuse, she even mocked us. Don't forget, when her daughter was kidnapped, our Yin Yin risked her life to save the twins. Put yourself in her shoes, and you can see a person's heart at a critical moment. Did she go in the end? So you asked. Oh, he did go, but he was very reluctant. He even said that it would be the last time he would help us. Yes. Suyu nodded. So Lord Suyu said, before Shinmingshi could finish, Suyu suddenly punched him in the face. The force was so strong that Shinmingshi fell onto the sofa and blood came out his nose. It was obvious how angry Suyu was. Lord Suyu, Shinmingshi was dumbfounded. You don't know why I hit you, right? Suyu asked calmly. Shinmingshi didn't say anything. Suyu bent down, grabbed Shinmingshi's collar, and pulled him up. Then, he punched the right side of Shinmingshi's face again. This time, Shinmingshi couldn't get up. He only felt dizzy and saw stars before his eyes. Lord Su, what's going on? The people around them were no longer in the mood to drink or sing, and they all came over to stop the fight. Get the fuck out of here. Or else, don't blame me for being ruthless. Suyu was furious. After he yelled, everyone quietly left the room. Suyu pulled over a leather chair, sat on it, and looked at Shinmingshi, who was lying on the floor. Does it hurt? Suyu looked at him coldly and asked. Shinmingshi hadn't seen Suyu so angry in a long time, and he was a little scared. Chapter 2488. Lord Su, you hit me to protect a woman? We've been buddies for so many years. Shinmingshi felt wronged. Although he had known Suyu for many years, he wasn't as close as Wei Liao and Tang Chuan. However, it wasn't enough for Suyu to beat him up. How serious was this? Therefore, other than the shock in his eyes, Shinmingshi felt wronged. Very good. You want to talk about buddies with me? Then let me tell you, if it weren't for the fact that we've known each other for so many years, I would have thrown you into the sea to feed the fish after what you said just now. It would have been as simple as punching you twice. I don't understand why that woman is so important to you. Moreover, she's going to be someone else's wife soon. Shinmingshi didn't know Huamin very well, so he only saw and heard one-sided things. Naturally, he didn't understand why Suyu liked Huamin so much. Okay, I'll tell you why I hit you today. First, you slander Huamin. You don't know her at all. You're just looking at things from a passerby's point of view. Most of what you see is what you hear. Why do you have to judge other people's lives? Second, you just said that you and Hua Yinyin went to Huamin and asked her to go see Hua Xiqian. Then, you helped Hua Yinyin save her and beat her up, right? Shinmingshi didn't dare to say anything else. He just listened quietly. If Qin Chu finds out about this, he'll probably kill you. Suyu was furious. You're right. I'm sure he'll hit you. Shinmingshi still looked at Suyu in confusion. Do you know how dangerous that psycho Hua Xiqian is to Huamin? Even now, Qin Chu still sends people to protect her in secret because he's afraid that Hua Xiqian will attack her. However, you guys shamelessly begged Huamin to help you guys. That woman, Hua Yinyin, even used the fact that she saved Huamin's life so that she couldn't refuse. Do you know how much danger she had to take to see that psycho? Also, since Hua Yinyin likes to talk about saving Huamian, I'll tell you about it. Who was the one who kidnapped Huamian and the twins? It was Hua Yinyin's half-brother, Huamin. Also, if I remember correctly, when the Hua family was in dire straits, Yinyin was bullied by your ex-wife, Wei Ying, a couple of times, and it was Huamin who stood up for her, right? Hua Xiqian was the one who caused Hua Xi's accident. However, knowing Hua Xiqian's style, he would never leave a loose end behind. Why is your precious Hua Yinyin still alive? Do you think it's because Hua Xiqian is kind? Or is it because your Hua Yinyin is the prettiest woman in the world? She's so beautiful that Hua Xiqian can't bear to hurt her. Suyu's words once again left Shinmingshi speechless. Let me tell you, Hua Xiqian cares about Hua Yinyin. She's helped Hua Yinyin time and time again, and Hua Xiqian has seen it all. She's been emphasizing that Hua Yinyin has returned to her normal life, and that Hua Xiqian shouldn't disturb her. You might not know this, but that psycho guy listens to Huamian the most. After Huasi's accident, Huamin has been looking for her. He even prepared a new house and money for her to do something for herself. However, Yin disappeared without a trace. She didn't even say goodbye to Huamin. Of course, I don't know how she hooked up with you. I don't care about what you guys do, and I'm not interested in hearing about it. However, you slandered Huamin when you don't even know anything. You even have the audacity to talk about saving the children. Huamin has helped Yin so many times, but she never took the initiative to help him. Yin only helped him once, and Huamin should be grateful to her? What kind of logic is this? Lord Su, I didn't know that. Shen Mingxi lowered his head guiltily. Of course you didn't know. You're being played by that woman right now. How would you know? Lord Su looked at Shen Mingxi in annoyance. Chapter 2489. Yin just wanted to save her child, Shen Mingxi explained. Then let me ask you, why did Huasiqian kidnap Hui Yinyan's daughter for no reason? Did he have too much time on his hands? Shen Mingxi remained silent. Why aren't you looking for an excuse this time? If I'm not wrong, Hui Yinyan must have pissed someone off, right? Oh right, I almost forgot. Hui Yinyan isn't that capable, and the recent negative news about the whole corporation doesn't seem to be Qin Shu's doing either. So it was you, right? You did something, didn't you? I'm just worried about what Yin went through these past few years. You know, if it weren't for Huasiqian, would she still be the high and mighty socialite of the whole family? She wouldn't have ended up marrying a scumbag by mistake and giving birth to a single mother. She only has herself to blame. Speaking of her background, I want to ask you. You keep saying that Huamin's mother was a mistress, but what about Hui Yinyan's mother? Shen Mingxi remained silent. Jiang Hong is the only legal wife in the whole family, right? Who does Shinjiani think she is? A mistress that Chairman Hua kept when he was alive? I'm afraid she's the most high-profile mistress on earth, right? Not only did she live in someone else's house without a proper status, but she also gave birth to an adulterous child. Shen Mingxi's expression darkened when he heard this. Besides, it's her own choice to marry a scumbag. Who's to blame? You keep saying that Huamian doesn't know how to love herself, that she's promiscuous and seductive. But as far as I know, Huamian has only had one man, Qin Shu. She's never had physical contact with another man. Before the Hua family went bankrupt, Hui Yinyan's private life was already rotten. Who knows how many men she slept with and how many children she had aborted. After the Hua family went bankrupt, she was despised and had to marry a scumbag. Shen Mingxi, you're a smart man. How did you fall for Hui Yinyan's tricks? It's bad enough that you were used, but how dare you talk about Huamin's sins in front of me? Let me tell you, Su Yu, didn't live the past 30 years for nothing. When I was in the army, going through life and death training, you were still in school. I'm a good judge of character. I know best what kind of person Huamin is. People like Hui Yinyan are nothing but clowns. She uses her little smarts to commit crimes and pretends to be a lotus flower in front of you. Over the years, not only has her IQ dropped, but her tastes have also become unusually vulgar. Today, I'm telling you that we're no longer brothers. Don't tell me that you're an idiot for a woman. Su Yu, don't have such a stupid brother like you. After saying this, Su Yu opened the door and walked out of the private room. With a loud bang, the door slammed shut on both sides of the corridor. No one dared to make a sound. They all made way for Su Yu. Su Yu walked out of the nightclub with a dark expression on his face, but after giving Shen Mingxi a good scolding, he felt a lot better. So he took a deep breath. Then, he got into his black Lamborghini and sped away. Young Master Shun, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? After Su Yu left, those people only dared to go in and help Shen Mingxi up. No need. No one is to mention what happened today. Otherwise, I won't let you go, Shen Mingxi reminded them. Yes, young Master Shun. Don't worry. We won't say a word. Shen Mingxi didn't expect that Su Yu would beat him up so badly that his face was almost disfigured just because he said something bad about Huamin. Should he say that Su Yu was impulsive? Or should he say that he wasn't careful enough? But Su Yu's words did move him a little. inside a high-end residential area. Mingxi, you're back? Are you hungry? I've made soup. Hui Yanyan walked out of the room in a slightly sexy lavender nightgown. You actually know that Huamin went to beg Hua Xiqian that day. The consequences would be very dangerous, right? Shen Mingxi suddenly asked her. Chapter 2490. Mingxi, why are you asking this all of a sudden? Hui Yanyan's expression was unnatural. Did you already know? It's all in the past. Is it important? Hui Yanyan didn't dare to look him in the eye. I used to think I knew you, but now I find after being beaten by Su Yu, Shen Mingxi seemed to have sobered up a lot. Mingxi, what's wrong with you? Did someone say something to you? Or did Wei Ying start investigating me again? Nothing. Why is there a wound on your face? My God, did you get into a fight? Hui Yanyan ran up to him in surprise. But before she could touch him, he pushed her away impatiently. After losing Su Yu as a buddy, not to mention the benefits, the relationship they had built up over the years would go down the drain. Shen Mingxi didn't know how important Huamin was to Su Yu. After Su Yu left, he was in a bad mood. He went back to his private mansion and slept until dawn. Then he went to work. At the headquarters, when Qin Shu arrived at the company, he didn't see Assistant Yang, who usually took care of the company. Where's Assistant Yang? Qin Shu walked to the secretary's office and asked. I'm not sure. President Qin. It was almost time to go to work, but Assistant Yang was nowhere to be seen. Go and get Bella. Seeing that it was almost time for the morning meeting, Qin Shu asked the secretary to get Bella. Bella had been Huamin's assistant for a long time, so she had a lot of experience. Without thinking, Qin Shu took the documents and went into the meeting room with Bella. When the meeting ended at 9:30 a.m., Assistant Yang was still nowhere to be seen. Qin Shu had just asked if Assistant Yang was here when his cell phone rang. Did you oversleep? Seeing that it was Assistant Yang calling, Qin Shu picked up and asked, President Qin, I'm Xiao Yang's wife. Qin Shu was slightly startled, but he did not continue to speak. My husband got into a car accident on his way to work this morning. He's still in the hospital now. Our whole family is grieving, and we forgot to call the company. I just remembered. I'm sorry, President Qin. Is it serious? Qin Shu was still worried when he heard about his assistant's accident. I'm not sure yet. We also have to wait for the results of the surgery. However, we might not be able to go back in a short term. Okay, I got it. After hanging up the phone, Qin Shu immediately ordered the company's finance department to send the money to Xiao Yang's family to deal with the emergency. Bella, stay here and take over Yang's position for now. Sure, but President Qin, I still have a lot of work on my hands. What should I do? Leave it to someone else. If we don't have enough people, let the HR department recruit a few more. There have been a lot of things going on recently, and Qin Shu was also in a terrible fix. Qi Ning was dating Tang Chuan, but now she had quarreled with her father and refused to return to the company. Sometimes his second uncle was too busy and often gave him the documents from the headquarters to deal with. Bella could easily take over Assistant Yang's job, but ordinary people could not handle Bella's workload. In the end, the HR department decided to hire an excellent assistant for President Qin. This was a very small matter in a large corporation, but when Qin Shu came to work the next day, he was greeted by a girl named Assistant Yang. His mood dropped when he saw the girl who had just taken over Bella's position. Good morning, President Qin. The girl looked at Qin Shu with a bright smile. You? Chapter 2491. You? How did you? Qin Shu looked at the woman in front of him in shock. Hello, President Qin. Let me introduce myself. I'm a new employee hired by the HR department to help Sister Bella. My name is Zhang Manlin. You can call me Lin Lin. The girl's every movement and smile were perfect. Qin Shu was surprised to see her, not because of how beautiful or cute she was. It was because she had a face that was 70% similar to Huamin's. Yes, he was right. They were 70% similar. The girl looked young with a ponytail. She looked more like a young Huamin. Fortunately, her voice was different. Otherwise, Qin Shu would have mistaken her for his wife who had come to the company. Who hired you? Qin Shu frowned slightly. Manager Gu from the HR department. The girl smiled. Without another word, Qin Shu turned around and walked into his office, leaving the girl standing there awkwardly, not knowing what to do. After Qin Shu returned to his office, he sat down and dialed the intercom. Tell the person in charge of the HR department to come see me immediately. 5 minutes later, President Qin, you were looking for me? The female manager of the HR department knocked on the door carefully. Did you hire Bella's new assistant? Qin Shu asked. Yes. Where did you hire her? A lot of people sent us their resumes, and we selected her. This girl has a good education and looks mature. Do you know that she looks like my wife? Qin Shu asked coldly. President Qin, very well, you're fired. What? The person in charge of the HR department was dumbfounded. I said, you're fired, and so is the woman outside. You're all fired. Although Qin Shu had a bad temper, he rarely fired employees. Now that he fired the person in charge of the HR department, it caused a huge uproar. Some people said that the person in charge of the HR department purposely found a girl who looked like President Qin's wife to win his favor. In the end, he overreached himself. There were also people who said that Mr. Qin didn't want a woman who looked like his wife to appear. In short, he didn't like her. Zhang Manlin was fired on her first day of work. She was really unlucky. She took her things and walked out quietly. Along the way, he heard the people in the company talking about it. However, her expression remained calm, as if this matter had nothing to do with her. Sis. Zhixin had just returned from a business trip and didn't know what was going on. As soon as he returned to the company, he saw this familiar figure from afar. Thinking that it was Huamin, she almost rushed over and hugged him. When she got closer, she realized that it was an unfamiliar girl. I'm sorry. I mistook you for someone else. Zhixin immediately apologized. It doesn't matter, the girl replied faintly and continued to walk out. At this time, Qin Shu and Bella also came downstairs and were about to go out. When they came down from the top floor elevator and passed through the lobby, they bumped into each other. The girl suddenly summoned her courage and took the initiative to stop Qin Shu. Chairman Qin, please wait a moment. Qin Shu stopped in his tracks, but he didn't turn around. President Qin, I heard that. I look a lot like your wife. So I was fired? Is that so? Qin Shu turned his head and glanced at her face coldly. Who told you that you look like my wife? Chapter 2492. Isn't the entire company talking about it? To be honest, I was quite happy when I was hired by your company. After all, it's a world-renowned company. But now, it seems like President Qin is just an emotional man. He didn't even give me a chance and fired me. Not only me, but the person who hired me was implicated as well. If this was in ancient times, it would be the behavior of tyrant. The girl suddenly changed the topic and became sharp-tongued. She ridiculed Qin Shu in front of all the employees. No one dared to even breathe loudly. Is this little girl crazy? Is she mentally ill? How dare she talk back to President Qin? Some of the employees whispered among themselves. Our company doesn't want employees who talk back to their superiors. Bella couldn't stand it anymore and looked at the girl as she replied. Miss Bella, that's not right. I was fired 10 minutes ago, and I'm no longer an employee of your company. So, you don't have to worry about anything. I just want to say that young entrepreneurs and listed companies are just SOSO. If you don't want me here, there will be other places for me. Then, the girl hugged her personal belongings and turned to leave. She really looks like my sister. Zhixin was dumbfounded. I don't think so. Huamin isn't that reckless, Bella calmly analyzed. Surprised, Qin Shu didn't say anything. He didn't fly into a rage either. He just lowered his head and walked out of the company's headquarters. At Imperial Star, after work, Suyu listlessly drove his car, wondering if he should go back to the old mansion for dinner or go back to his private mansion. He was careless and almost ran a red light. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and braked. Then, a red figure appeared in front of his car. Can't you see the red light? Seriously? I'm so unlucky today, Zhang Manlin complained. Suyu was quite shocked when he saw the girl's face. Mian, he was pleasantly surprised, thinking that it was Huamin. Just as he was about to call out Mian's name, the girl looked up. After taking a closer look at her face, she realized that she wasn't Huamin, but she really resembled him. Whether it was her back view, figure, appearance, or even hairstyle, she was very similar to Huamin, but she obviously looked younger. The driver behind kept honking, but Suyu had no intention of leaving. Suyu wanted to say something. The young lady lowered her head and looked at her trousers. Don't worry, I'm not injured. I won't cheat you. It's just that my trousers are a little loose. Forget it. I'll fix it myself later. Then he crossed the road and walked away while muttering to himself. Suyu only came back to his senses after she walked past him. Then he felt that this matter was a little strange. He couldn't help but send a WeChat message to Huamin. Are you there? Yes. I just saw a girl who looks very much like you. Huh. Maybe she's my twin sister or something. Huamin laughed. I'm not joking, it's true. Where did you see her? Is she pretty? Huamin replied to Suyu while eating an apple. How should I put it? I can't say for sure. She gives off the same vibe as you. I think it's a little strange. Mian, you have to be careful. Okay, don't worry, I'm fine. Huamin nodded. In fact, he didn't really take these words to heart. Just then, Qin opened the door and walked in, looking a little tired. Honey, you're back. Huamin stood up and took the briefcase for him. Daddy, you're in a bad mood. Look at your dark face. Little Bean immediately saw that her daddy's expression wasn't right. Mian, come upstairs with me. I have something to talk to you about. Qin rarely spoke to Huamin so formally, so as soon as he finished speaking, Huamin realized the seriousness of the matter. Chapter 2493. After the couple went upstairs, the twins began to talk to each other worriedly in the living room. Little Bean, sis, don't you think Daddy and Mommy are acting weird lately? Pudding, even a blind person can see it, okay? Little Bean, why didn't you say so earlier? Pudding, would it have worked? Little Bean, at least we can investigate the cause. Pudding, things between adults are very complicated. It's not something we can get involved in. Besides, Daddy and Mommy aren't ordinary adults. Their combined IQ is enough to crush us. So, it's better if we don't get involved in this. Little Bean, but I'm worried that things will go wrong. While Little Bean was talking, she glanced upstairs from time to time, looking worried. Pudding, what's wrong? Little Bean, they won't divorce, right? When the time comes, one of us will have to live with Daddy and the other with Mommy. Boo-hoo, I'm so pitiful. I'd rather live with Daddy. Mommy is so fierce. Pudding, you're thinking too far ahead. Besides, you don't have to worry about Daddy and Mommy divorcing. Before Pudding could finish, Little Bean interrupted her. Sis, are you trying to say that Daddy and Mommy love is stronger than gold? Even if the earth were to explode, Daddy and Mommy would never separate, right? Pudding, no, I mean they're not even married. How could they divorce? Little Bean spat out a mouthful of milk onto the sofa. Sis, are you saying that we've always been illegitimate daughters? Little Bean's eyes widened. No, I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about the wedding. Don't you know that they've never had a wedding? Oh, right. I would have forgotten about it if you didn't mention it. It's so worrying. I hope they'll be fine. Otherwise, we won't have a good life. Daddy has a cold face. If he fights with Mommy, he'll freeze us to death. Mommy has a bad temper, too. If she's unhappy, she'll vent her anger on us. The two kids chatted downstairs. Of course, if their daughters could tell what was wrong with them, how could outsiders not? That night, Huamin and Qin chatted for an hour and a half in the study upstairs. No one knew what they talked about, but when Huamin walked out, his expression was not very good. The two of them were no longer calling each other husband and wife as intimately as before. Let's go. Mommy will take you to bathe and sleep. Huamin went downstairs and led the twins upstairs. Qin picked up his coat and walked out. Chu, it's so late. Where are you going? Mama Qin asked. I'm going out to do something. Drive carefully and come back early. All right. After Qin left, Lady Qin raised her head and looked at her daughter-in-law and granddaughter who had gone upstairs. She then looked at her son, who had just come back from work, and went out again. He started to feel uneasy. Hubby, do you feel it? Mr. Chin was reading the newspaper with his reading glasses. When he heard Mama Chin's question, he looked up at her and asked, "What do you feel?" "Something's wrong with Mian and Chu lately." "What's wrong?" "I'm not sure, but it's definitely different from before." When you have time, ask Chu if he's under a lot of pressure at work or if he's in some kind of trouble. We don't want him and his wife to fight because of work. It's not easy for Mian to give birth to 2 children for our family. I really hope she won't make trouble again. Chin Chu's mother understood her daughter-in-law's difficulties more and more. In the bathroom upstairs, the twins took off their clothes and got into the bathtub. "Mommy, you've been in here for less than 5 minutes, and you've spaced out 3 times. What's wrong with you?" Chapter 2494. It's nothing. You're lying. Pudding didn't believe her. "Okay, you two hurry up and go to bed." Huamin lectured her 2 daughters. Pudding didn't ask too much since her mother wasn't in a good mood. After Huamin bathed the girls, she put them to bed. At around 10 o'clock, her 2 daughters were asleep. She closed the door and went back to her bedroom. She walked in the dark without turning on the lights. She stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window and looked at the scenery downstairs. It was going to be another sleepless night. The next morning, when Huamin drove to Southside Recuperation Center, she saw a few nurses chatting in the lobby. When they saw Huamin, they immediately greeted him. "Good morning, Vice Director." "Good morning." Huamin nodded slightly. Then, when she turned her head, she heard the nurses say, "It's too similar. It's too similar." Huamin wasn't someone who liked to gossip, so she didn't ask what was going on. However, when she arrived at the office, Chen Jie looked at her strangely. "Jie, what's wrong?" "Director, our hospital's finance department hired a new accountant today. Our hospital is so big. We hire new people every day. It's not like I'm in charge of this." Huamin smiled. She took off her coat and hung it up carefully. Then he took out the neatly folded white coat from the cupboard and put it on. This series of actions was very skillful. "Director, you haven't seen the new girl yet, right?" Chen Jie asked carefully. "Yeah, I haven't seen her yet. I just got here." "What's wrong?" Huamin was confused by Chen Jie's hesitation. "Forget it. I don't know what to say. You'll see her in the morning meeting, and then you'll know what's going on." "So mysterious. Does she look like Fan Bingbing?" Huamin joked. 15 minutes later, she saw Zhang Manlin in the conference room for the first time. Huamin himself was deeply shocked. It was as if he was looking into a mirror. No, it was more accurate to say that he was looking at another version of himself. It was a magical feeling. All the colleagues at Southside also exclaimed that they were too similar. Chun Jie, who had been with Huamin the longest, couldn't help but sigh. How could there be such a similar woman? "Hello, Vice Director Hua. I'm Zhang Manlin." "Hello, I'm Huamin." Huamin was a calm person. Even in this situation, he didn't lose his composure. She suddenly understood why Su Yu said that he saw someone who looked like her. It turned out that there really was one. The most miraculous thing was that this girl looked especially innocent because of her young age. She looked more like him when he was young. Huamin suddenly had a very unpleasant feeling in his heart. She wondered how Qin Shu would react if he saw this woman. "Chief, we can start the meeting now," Chen Jie carefully reminded him. Huamian's expression didn't change as she picked up the documents and began to talk. Half an hour later, Huamin and Chen Jie walked out of the conference room. "Vice Director, do you have a moment? I want to talk to you." The girl named Zhang Manlin jogged over. "Sure." Huamin didn't refuse. He also wanted to know what he could talk about with his buddies. To his surprise, the first thing the girl said when he entered the office was, "Vice Director, to be honest, I just came to this city and wanted to find a better job. I was selected when I submitted my resume to GK, but when I went to work, I was fired for no reason. So, I came to your hospital for an interview. Then, I heard that you're President Qin's wife, right?" "Yes." Huamin nodded without hiding anything. Chapter 2495. It seems like the rumors are true. What rumors? Huamin was curious. Rumor has it that President Qin of GK spoils his wife to the point that he can't tolerate anyone who looks like her. It seems like I wasn't fired for nothing. What about you, Vice Director? Did you also fire me for no reason and convict me just because I look like you? After the girl said this, Huamin suddenly realized that she was a very smart person. Without a doubt, her words put Huamin on a pedestal. If he fired her, it would seem too petty. How could the vice director of Southside be so narrow-minded? If he said no, Huamin felt that it was too weird to keep someone who looked so much like him under his nose. After a moment of silence, Huamin nodded. I won't. That's good. Then there's no problem. Thank you, Vice Director. But I still want to say that my face was given to me by my parents. I can't do anything about it, but I can say for sure that I'm not related to you by blood. I asked my colleagues about your blood type, and it's different from mine. Most importantly, my parents are just ordinary farmers and don't have that many complicated feuds with rich families. So, of course, I won't shamelessly claim kinship with you, Vice Director. You don't have to worry about that. I'm way back to work. Thank you for taking your precious time. Then, the girl opened the door and left. Huamin's expression became complicated. This girl's attitude towards her wasn't flattering or rude, but there was a hint of arrogance in her bones. That arrogance was becoming more and more like her when she was younger. In a trance, she had a feeling that she had traveled back in time to 10 years ago. Zhang Manlin was an extremely cheerful person, even a bit of a tomboy. She got along well with everyone. She was the center of attention wherever she went. Although she wasn't stunningly beautiful, she had a strong presence. Therefore, for the first few days, Southside was in an uproar. Even President Wu, who came back from a business trip, came to see this girl in person. The male doctors in the hospital were even more attentive to the young lady because she was single. For a time, everyone in Southside, be it the doctors, nurses, anesthetists, or even patients, had a harmonious relationship with this young lady. At this moment, Huamin's heart began to subtly change. He couldn't describe what he was feeling. He just felt unhappy. He couldn't say he was jealous, but he couldn't say he was happy either. She couldn't say that it didn't matter. She hadn't cultivated to the point where she had no desires. Lunchtime Southern District cafeteria, wherever Zhang Manlin went to get her food, the place would be filled immediately. Then a group of people would start chatting and laughing. Manlin, are you really not related to our vice director? A young nurse asked. I really don't. My family is from the countryside and my parents are farmers. They've been farming for their entire lives. How could I have a relative as awesome as the vice director? Zhang Manlin smiled. Then you two are too similar. Did you have plastic surgery? Someone joked. Zhang Manlin wasn't angry. She only retorted, I'm not afraid of offending our vice director. If I did plastic surgery, I wouldn't look like her. After all, my face isn't beautiful. If I did plastic surgery, I would look like a baby. Ha ha. Her words made everyone roar with laughter. Huamian, on the other hand, was sitting in a quiet corner, eating slowly and methodically. The atmosphere around her was a lot colder. These days, Chen Jie would go over take care of Anai Yang's mother at noon, so she basically ate by herself. Can I sit here? A pleasant male voice sounded. Huamin looked up at him. Chapter 2496. Whatever, Huamin replied faintly. Should I call you Dr. Hua or Vice Director Hua? Lu Zhe asked with a smile as he held his plate. Either is fine. Then I'll call you Dr. Hua. Vice Director Hua sounds good, Lu Zhe said half-jokingly. It's okay. I'm not young anymore, Huamin said frankly. Who said so? Dr. Hua is still in his prime. Haha. Thank you for your compliment, Dr. Lu, but I'm really not. Did you fix your car? I think so. I don't have time to pick it up. Yeah. I saw you driving a white Porsche this morning. You have a lot of luxury cars in your family. Qin Shu is really rich, Lu Zhe commented objectively. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dated him in high school. I did it so I could marry into a rich family, Huamin said self-deprecatingly. You're not that kind of person. Dr. Lu, don't act like you know me very well. I hate it when people try to figure me out. Although I haven't been in your class for a long time, you left the deepest impression on me. Really. Thank you. It's just that some people showed up late, so they might miss out on a lot of things. Luze said ambiguously. It's about time. I'm done eating. Dr. Liu, take your time. Huamin stood up with a smile. He put his plate aside and turned to leave. Luze looked at her back and smiled thoughtfully. She is indeed a difficult woman to deal with. Suyu hadn't been in a good mood recently, so he didn't take the initiative to pick up the twins. In the end, the twins couldn't help but come to him. President Su, Pudding and Little Bean are here, and knocked on the door and said, "Yeah." Suyu was in the middle of a video conference. When he heard that the twins were here, he immediately said to his colleagues, "Something came up. Let's call it a day. If you have any questions, just send me an email." That's all. Then, Suyu hung up. When he got up, Pudding and Lil Bean walked in. The two ladies were wearing black wide-legged pants, white long sleeves, and black vests. They were dressed fashionably. "I'll give you full marks for your outfit today." Suyu's eyes were full of love. "Shut up. Why hasn't handsome Su visited us in so long?" Little Bean asked. "Haven't you been busy recently? It hasn't been that long, right?" Suyu felt wronged. "It's been 6 days. It's almost a week, okay?" Little Bean corrected him. Yes, it's my fault. I was careless." "Huh, but didn't I ask your mommy to bring you that robot? This can also be considered as making amends, right?" Suyu laughed. Pudding sat on the sofa and blew bubbles as she said, "Now that you mention it, I remember something. Handsome Su, you're so busy. How did your time go to Southside to give the things to my mommy?" I went to Southside for a checkup. It's on the way." Suyu made up an excuse. "That's not what my mommy said. It doesn't match up, right?" Pudding continued to ask. "Oh, okay, you two little devils. I'm sorry, I'm guilty." "Fine, I'll listen to you. I've already cut off the video conference. Isn't that enough?" Suyu was very patient with the twins, which was rare for him. "Handsome Su, other than wanting to see you, we're here today because we need your help." Little Bean climbed onto Suyu's lap and hugged his neck coquettishly. "You two are begging me? I promise it's not something good, right?" Suyu looked at the two little ancestors warily. Chapter 2497. "Sis, this is a serious matter. You should tell him." Little Bean looked at Pudding with a bitter expression. Pudding nodded. Then, she looked up at Suyu and said, "My daddy and mommy are in a fight." "No, sis, it's not a fight. I think they're in a fight right now. Or rather, they're in a Cold War," Little Bean corrected. "Cold War? Why?" Suyu frowned. From what Suyu knew about Huamin and Qin Shu over the years, he knew better than anyone how Qin Shu felt about Huamin. "I'm not sure. We don't dare to ask," Pudding said. "Yes, but I'm sure there's a problem," Little Bean added. "Are you sure you're not imagining things?" The twins' words made Suyu very suspicious. After all, they were only 3 years old. "We're sure," the twins answered in unison. "So what should I do?" Suyu felt that this was too sudden, so he didn't know how to deal with it. "If we knew what to do, would we ask you? That's why we want to ask you. Tell us what to do. Or help us." Little Bean looked worried. "This is a private matter between them. It's not good for outsiders to interfere. If I meddle too much, it'll make things worse and create more misunderstandings between them." Suyu was good at this. He knew his place. Back then, he chased after Huamin without knowing anything. Later, when he found out that Huamin was married, he restrained himself and even deliberately kept his distance. Even when Qin Shu was missing for 4 years, he didn't use any underhanded means to make Huamin fall for him. So, when he heard that the couple was not in a good relationship, Suyu's heart was in a mess. "Handsome Su, I think this is a serious problem," Pudding said seriously. "Why do you say that?" "That's because Daddy and Mommy haven't been spending much time together lately. They usually don't talk much, and Mommy looks like she has something on her mind. But you know, Mommy won't tell us anything. After all, we're her daughters. But you're different. You're her friend. I think maybe you can try asking Mommy what's wrong, and we can help you solve it." Pudding analyzed calmly. "It's not good for me to see your mommy alone. We just met a few days ago, so we can't do it too often. How about this? I'll think of a way to confirm it later. That's good too. Remember to tell us if you have any news. You must be hungry. Let me take you to eat something first. Just like that. So you drove the twins to the hotel for crab porridge and some snacks. Then he asked Xiao to send them back. After the twins left, Su Yu took this matter seriously. Therefore, he ordered his subordinates to investigate secretly. Of course, it was useless to investigate the matter between Huamin and Qin Shu. So, Su Yu couldn't help but ask Huamian on WeChat. Hello, Dr. Hua. Su Yu picked a time in the morning because he knew that Huamin must be at South Side and not with Qin Shu. I'm here. What do you need, Lord Su? Huamin said, half-jokingly. Oh, you could still joke. It seems like your mood isn't as bad as the rumors say. Who said I'm in a bad mood? Huamin asked back. Su Yu stammered. Chapter 2498. Is it pudding or little bean? Huamin guessed that other than his daughter, no one else would be so nosy. Can't you pretend to be stupid? So you said helplessly. Don't listen to their nonsense. They're bored at home because they don't have a kindergarten to attend. By the way, are you really going to let them stay at home and be friends with them? I haven't thought about it yet. We don't want to send them out of the country. There's no suitable school for them to go to. With their intelligence, they should be able to enter the second year of high school. But they won't be able to keep up with the pace of high school life. The age gap is too big, so it'll be troublesome. You're right. You want to talk to me about something? Nothing. I just wanted to ask if you're free these days. Let's have dinner together. I'll invite Wei Liao and the others. Treat us to dinner? That's a good thing. Yeah. Didn't a new hot pot restaurant open on San Yuan Road? I heard it's very ethnic. I'm going to take you guys there to try it. Okay, let's make an appointment. Huamin agreed immediately. So you seem to want to say something, but stopped. Ask me what you want to ask. Huamin knew that Su Yu rarely talked to her. How have you been recently? I've been fine. Are you really okay? Don't lie to me. I'm really fine. Huamin smiled faintly. If you're unhappy about something, just tell me. Don't hold it in. Okay. I know. Okay. I won't disturb you anymore. Go to your work. Okay. Talk to you later. After hanging up, Su Yu let out a long sigh. He knew this would happen. With Huamin's introverted personality, even if he really didn't have a good relationship with Qin Shu, he wouldn't say it out loud. So, it would be strange if he asked anything President Su and walked in. How is it? Have you checked everything I asked you to? Yeah, I did. Nothing major happened, but GK did fire 2 employees recently. I wonder if it has anything to do with this. I was confused. Fire 2 employees? This shouldn't be a problem, right? Su Yu racked his brains, but still couldn't think of anything that could have happened between Huamin and Qin Shu. Suddenly, he thought of someone. Shen Mingxi. Shen Mingxi had mentioned that he and Huayan had asked Huamin to beg Hua Xiqian for help. Could it be because of this? Was it because Huamin had met Hua Xiqian that Qin Shu was unhappy? At this thought, Su Yu's face darkened. Check Shen Mingxi's current schedule for me. Okay, President Su. 40 minutes later, Shen Mingxi and Huayan were drinking tea and listening to music in a tea house. Su Yu's arrival surprised them. Lord Su. Shen Mingxi was still scared after being beaten up by Su Yu. Young Master Su. Huayan nodded in greeting. That day, you two went to Huamin and asked her to go to Hua Xiqian, right? Su Yu asked directly. Yes. Shen Mingxi nodded. What did she go back? Did Hua Xiqian do anything to her? Su Yu asked with a dark expression. I don't know. Huamin went to Hua Xiqian by herself. Hua Xiqian let her go as soon as she arrived, so we didn't ask for details, Shen Mingxi answered. Haha, very good. Burning the bridge, after crossing it? Su Yu clenched his fists in anger. Young Master Su, do you have any misunderstandings about us? Huayan asked weakly when she saw that Su Yu didn't come with good intentions. Chapter 2499. You shut the fuck up. To be honest, if it weren't for the fact that Su Yu didn't like hitting women, Su Yu would have beaten Huayan to a pulp. I'm telling you guys, stay away from Huamin from now on. Don't even think about hitting on her. After speaking, Su Yu left in a huff. How did young Master Su know about that? Did you tell him? Hua Yin turned around and looked at Shun Mingxi with a livid expression. Yeah, I was drinking with him that day and tried to persuade him to give up on Huamin. I might have gone too far and made him very unhappy. Thinking back, Shun Mingxi still regretted it like a machine. If he knew that Su Yu was so protective of Huamin, he would have never said a word about it. Hua Yin stomped her feet in anger. She pointed at Shun Mingxi. How could you be so stupid? You know that young Master Su likes Mian, and he's obsessed with her. I was a little drunk at the time, so I got a little braver and analyzed the situation for him. I didn't think, forget it, don't ever say that again. Also, don't ever talk about anything related to Mian again, Huan Yin warned in a huff. So you're not going to get revenge? Shun Mingxi looked up and asked. Of course, I'm going to get revenge. Then how are we going to get revenge? Hua Xiqian must have been on guard against us. Shun Mingxi gripped his teacup in frustration. We can sit on top of the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Sit on top of the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Shun Mingxi frowned slightly. Judging from young Master Su's expression just now, I know that he's going to get revenge on Hua Xiqian. Plus, we can find an opportunity to tell Qinshu that Mian met with Hua Xiqian in private. He'll definitely go after Hua Xiqian. Then, we won't have to do anything, and the problem will be solved on its own. Yin, I never realized how scary you are when you're smart. Shun Mingxi looked at Hua Yin with a strange look in his eyes, as if he was meeting her for the first time. Upon hearing Shun Mingxi's words, Hua Yin immediately grabbed the back of his hand and coaxed coquettishly. Mingxi, you know how miserable I've been. Everything I've been through is caused by that guy. My father's death, my mother's disappearance, and my younger brother's death are all related to him. I had no choice. Actually, I didn't want to be so ruthless. Forget it. I understand your difficulties. Anyway, since you've decided to follow me, I won't ignore your matters. Shun Mingxi felt that Hua Yin was someone who deserved his protection. So even though Su Yu had said those words, he would rather believe his intuition. City, inside a high-end bowling alley, President Hua, bad news. Someone smashed our car. One of Hua Xiqian's subordinates rushed in to report. Oh, did Su Yu do it? Hua Xiqian didn't care as he continued to bowl. After a few consecutive perfect moves, the young models watching from the sidelines screamed in excitement. Young Master Hua is amazing. That's amazing. He's really good at bowling. President Hua, how did you know? Did you see the surveillance footage? His subordinates were dumbfounded. How did the boss know what happened a minute ago? Did he have the ability to predict the future? If you look at the entire city, there are very few people who would dare to smash my car. Qinshu would never do something so childish, and Shun Mingxi wouldn't dare to do it again. I think only that little kid, Su Yu, would do something so ridiculous. Hua Xiqian had always called Su Yu little kid because he felt that sometimes, when he was impulsive, his IQ was like that of a 3-year-old. Of course, the only person in the world who could make Su Yu turn into a 3-year-old was Su Yu. Hua Xiqian, get out here. Su Yu's voice drifted in before he even entered the building. Everyone upstairs retreated to both sides to make way for the Crown Prince. Chapter 2500. President Su, what brings you here? Hua Xiqian smiled brightly. Hua Xiqian was born with great patience. He grew up in the Hua family and was able to get to where he was today. It had to be said that he had suffered a lot. Therefore, the people around Hua Xiqian, including the employees of the Hua Corporation, rarely saw him get angry. There was a rumor that spread throughout the Hua Corporation. It was said that there was a new cleaning lady at the company. When she was mopping the floor, the road was too slippery and she lost her balance. When she fell, the dirty cloth in her hand flew out. It landed on Hua Xiqian's newly bought leather shoes that cost 70 to 80,000 yuan. At that time, everyone thought that the cleaning lady was unlucky. To their surprise, Hua Xiqian didn't say anything. He even helped her up with a smile. and asked if she was hurt. The cleaning lady was so touched that tears streamed down her face. From then on, she worked even harder. Apparently, she was now the director of the cleaning department of the entire corporation. Therefore, it was normal to see Hua Xiqian smile. Even though he just found out that Suyu smashed his car, he could still smile. Don't talk to me about useless things. Let me ask you, why are you still bothering Huamin? Suyu walked over and grabbed Hua Xiqian's collar. The bodyguards behind Hua Xiqian were about to rush up, but Hua Xiqian stopped them with his hand. President Su, don't mess around. What are you talking about? How am I bothering my little sister? If Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan want to deal with you, then go find them. Why do you have to drag me on into this? Are you going to forget if I don't teach you a lesson? President Su, look at how agitated you are. People who don't know better would think that my little sister is your wife. Ha ha. Hua Xiqian smiled lightly, but his eyes were filled with mockery. Indeed, Suyu was helping Huamin deal with the injustice. Why did he have to do that? He was not justified. Seeing Suyu's reaction, Hua Xiqian seemed to be very proud. He continued, Is my brother-in-law, President Qin, too busy recently? He even needs you to do something like this for him. Shut up, you bastard. Suyu was so angry that his face turned green. Don't be angry. Calm down. We've known each other for a long time. Let's sit down and talk. Talk my ass. That's my temper. Don't make things difficult for Huamin in the future. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Suyu really wanted to strangle that bastard Hua Xiqian to death on the spot, but he couldn't go too far in front of so many people. If the media caught them, they would be in big trouble. After all, he was from a famous family and was attending the 17th National Congress in Jing City. So, in order to not ruin his grandfather's reputation, Suyu forced himself not to hit him. He only gave him a very serious warning. Brother Su, you should be thanking me. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have had the chance to be with Mian for 4 years. People should learn to be content. Hua Xiqian's collar was pulled, and he was about to punch Suyu in the face. However, he still didn't learn his lesson and continued to provoke Suyu. Bullshit. If it weren't for you, all these things wouldn't have happened. I'd rather not have those 4 years than see Mian live a life worse than death. Suyu lowered his voice and enunciated each and every word. Don't make yourself sound so great. If you don't believe me, we'll see. It won't be long before Mian fades out of your sight. Hua Xiqian said with a mysterious smile. What do you mean? What do you want to do to her? Suyu felt inexplicably nervous after hearing Hua Xiqian's words. Chapter 25:01. What's the rush? You'll know when the time comes. Hua Xiqian was still smiling. Why do you keep haunting Hua Xiqian? Suyu was furious and wanted to tear Hua Xiqian into pieces. President Su, you're asking a strange question. Aren't you also haunting me? How noble are you compared to me? I'm not like you, Suyu roared. Stop lying to yourself. We're all the same. Can you honestly say that you don't want a Xiqian? Don't you want to spend all your time with her and be with her forever? Suyu was speechless. It was true that he loved Huamin deeply. He would be lying if he said that he didn't want to spend the rest of his life with her. After all, love was the most selfish thing. Otherwise, Suyu's heart wouldn't ache every time he saw Huamin and Qin Shu being lovey-dovey. Although he tried his best to convince himself not to dream, his heart still ached uncontrollably. So, Hua Xiqian was right and touched Suyu's sore spot. Enjoy your time with Huamian. Maybe you won't have another chance in the future. What on earth do you want to do to her? Suyu's heart tightened again. Don't be so nervous. Our Mian is so smart and protected by you and Qin Shu. What can I do to her? Haha. I'm warning you. Don't get close to her. If I find out that you're plotting something against her, I'll throw you into the sea to feed the sharks. Suyu warned. What if Mian comes to me and is willing to be with me? Hua Xiqian asked. Impossible. Suyu immediately denied. Nothing is impossible in this world. Some words shouldn't be said too early. Stop trying to be mysterious with me. I won't fall for it. I'm not Shin Mingxi or Hua Yinyan. Don't try to scare me like you used to scare children. Of course not. President Sue, you've always been a daring man. Who can scare you? I'll be frank with you. If one day Mion comes back to me of her own accord, don't blame me. Don't worry, you won't live to see that day. Suyu boasted shamelessly. It's okay. Even if I die with her, I'll still be very happy. You've done so many bad things. Even after you die, you'll be ground to dust. Mion won't be with you. Stop dreaming. All right then, let's wait and see. I believe the next game will get more and more interesting. After saying that, Huasiqian broke free from Suyu's hand, bent down, picked up a bowling ball, and threw it over. He hit the target with one strike. It was a beautiful move. Suyu didn't know what he was going to do, but he had a feeling that Huasiqian was going to do something big. Suyu went downstairs angrily without a word. As he sat on a Lamborghini, he seemed to be thinking about Huasiqian's words. President Su, are you okay? I'm fine. Suyu's face darkened. Just then, his phone suddenly rang. Suyu picked it up and looked at it. Then he picked up the call. Mom, what's up? Suyu asked. Son, come back for dinner. Mom cooked your favorite sweet corn. It's the freshest variety from the Academy of Agricultural Sciences. Suyu looked down at his watch. Okay, President Su, you're going back to the old mansion? I'll get off the car and take a cab, and said as he got off the car. No need. Come home with me. That's not good. I was a bit speechless. It's fine. Let's go. Then, Suyu made a U-turn and drove back to the old mansion. Young master, you're back. The maid saw Suyu walk in and greeted him politely. As soon as Suyu walked in, he saw an unfamiliar woman sitting on the sofa. She had fair skin, beautiful features, and long legs. She wore a white dress with plaid straps that gave her a retro feel. Chapter 25:02. Before Suyu could say anything, the girl stood up shyly. Then, she smiled and greeted him. Hello, I'm Meng Weining. Suyu didn't say anything. He just kept a straight face and looked at her as if she was still a stranger. It was very awkward. Fortunately, at that moment, Mother Sue walked out of the kitchen. Son, you're back? Hey, and is here too. Mother Sue smiled. Hello, madam, and greeted her in a low-key manner. Take a seat. I'll get some fruits. All right, son, you don't even know this girl, right? Huh, I don't recognize her either. Do you still remember your Uncle Meng? He's your father's old comrade. When he was young, he came to our house as a guest and brought you a lot of Russian toy guns. That one? Oh, I don't remember. Suyu shook his head. Look at your memory. You're just like me. Anyway, you remember that she's your Uncle Meng's daughter. Weining, this is my son, Suyu. Look at him. Don't you think he's much more handsome than before? Mother Sue held the girl's hand and smiled. MHM, you look much better in person than in the photos. The girl smiled and praised Suyu in a subtle way. Come, come, come. You're back just in time. Dinner is ready. Before Suyu could say anything, Mother Sue pulled the girl and called Suyu into the dining room, and had always been self-aware. When he saw that there were guests at home, he followed behind Suyu and said in a low voice, President Sue, I'm leaving first. If you dare to leave, I'll break your legs. And you have guests at home. Suyu, you're not allowed to leave. Sit down. We'll eat together after dinner. And now he understood. He was wondering why President Sue was so open-minded today and brought him home for dinner. Did the sun rise from the west? Now he understood that he was using him as a shield. Get over here and eat, Suyu ordered in a low voice. And lowered his head and didn't dare to say anything. He quietly stood behind Suyu, and the four of them sat down. Mom, where's Dad? There's a dinner with a few government officials. Oh, what about Grandpa? Suyu asked without raising his head. He's still in a meeting in Jingdu. He won't be back for at least a week. Oh, that's strange. Grandpa isn't home, and Dad isn't home. Who brought this girl here? Suyu asked straightforwardly. His question made the girl blush. Hey, what do you know? Do you know what Weining does? Mrs. Sue asked mysteriously. Mom, aren't you asking nonsense? I don't know how to read fortunes. How would I know what she does? Weining, he's a military doctor. Do you know? Graduated from the most famous medical university in Kyoto and advanced to a doctorate at Tokyo Medical University. Now, You're working in Kyoto's first military district hospital. You're colleagues with Professor Luo and the others, aren't you? Oh, so you seem very calm. What do you mean, oh? I'm asking you if he's awesome. Mrs. Su asked. It's all right. Suyu pursed his lips, but in his heart, he thought, what's this? How can she not be good at studying? Mian was the awesome one. She didn't study abroad or go to a famous school, but she was still a top-notch doctor. Wayne came to our place this time to do calf surgery for a leader at the military hospital. After I heard about it, I invited her to our home to catch up. Oh, I see. Since she's busy, don't ask her to stay. Are you going back to the military hospital later? I'll ask my driver to take you. Suyu looked at the girl and asked. The girl bit her lower lip and didn't seem to know how to answer. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.